Alrighty, welcome to Nycos D&D, the I-9 COVID-19 incursion episode of Dawn Guard. Today's episode, Igniting the Fires, appropriately so named because we are in the hall of the Fire Giant King, whose name is Gocord.
Last name's Bluthor.
Bluthor. That's fine. King Bluthor works.
Gluzar Bluthor.
There you go. So we're
Glozar.
Glozar. We're in Glozar's castle, the King Bluthar of the Brobding Dang of the Fire Giants, or at least self-proclaimed. And we have just recently redeemed his place from its curses and returned it to its rightful place as the crown castle of the Fire Giants. So there's revelry going on. In the meantime, of course, you guys have your particular agendas, but before we get to our story so far, I would ask my players to introduce themselves, character name, class, race, and what you foresee of the alliance between giants and the Dawn Guard. The Dawn Guard.
The Dawn Guard?
The Dawn Guard, sure.
Go, Cord.
Okay.
Mighty warrior.
I am Cord Campbell, Goliath fighter, and I think it's going to go great until it doesn't.
Fair enough. And Jean.
I'm Mary Elwyn, a cleric of Nycos and guardian of life. I am holding it in reserve. Right now, they're thankful for what you did, or for what we did. But they're giants, and they see us as less than them.
I mean, they've got the numbers on their side.
Yes, they do. But remember, I could step us out of there.
That's true.
So I will not leave your side.
Okay. All right.
I'd sure like to know about whatever that thing is up the hill with its mouth open like a door. Looks like a chess piece or some other head of a something or other.
Grolem Temple?
That's what they called it, the Grolem Temple.
Yeah.
Who in heck? That wasn't a Grolem, though, that was portrayed on it.
I mean, we could ask. What happened to Gurgi in all this?
Well, when the magics reverted, Gurgi ceased to be around.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if you check outside, it won't be there, Mary.
Yeah, it might not. Elizabeth is around.
Oh, yeah.
I'm changing her name, guys. Cord, her name is Elizabeth. She is no longer Bate. She's Elizabeth.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
Because,
why change you my name?
because your name indicated something that you are no longer. You're no longer Bate. So I gave you a very fine name, Elizabeth.
Beth sounds like a girl.
Are you a girl or a boy?
I'm neither. I'm grung. You don't know my people.
Okay. How about Eliza? Elise?
Liz. What about E?
Eve?
What?
E.
I like my name.
Okay. There's no
Listen.
reason to argue. If you really like your name, it's just that.
Elizabeth, people can't just randomly change your name. Your name is what you want it to be.
Yeah.
I be me. I be me.
Unless it, hurts
How
someone
about
else.
the name Mimi?
What?
Me.
She stomps her little growing foot. You crazy. I came with you because you got me out of that mud hole and you saved me from the catablopus, but from Mama. But why all this concern with me? I'm just a frog. I mean that's what the mortals call me anyway. I'm not a frog, but they call me frog.
It's not true. You're not exactly a frog. You know that, and I know that. Okay, Elizabeth, it is. And I'm sorry that I was trying to think of a better name for you.
Well, I just don't understand the idea of better. I mean, I get used to it,
Yes.
you know.
You're
People
right.
people called out Elizabeth. I'm going to answer to it anyway, right?
Look, you're right. You've been called that for such a long time already. I concur. That
Wow.
means I agree.
Concur.
Concur.
Conquer.
Conquer. I like conquer. I conquer things too.
Elizabeth the
Biggest
Conqueror.
conquer.
So does Floyd, but Floyd's kind of bottled up right now, saving the world. Oh, that's another game, another day. But
It's a head. It's a head of a lich that Hart carries around in his
yes,
chest cavity.
yes.
The heck? Oh, this is this card. 1 second. Okay.
We hear you fine.
No, he's looking at his name because it says Cord Cabal Broby. Somehow, I
Hmm?
don't think he wants to be a Broby.
Brobing Nag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, but
that's
it
not.
just shows Broby. Broby Cord.
I see Robin
It's the size of the window. I'm
Robster.
Yeah, like a mobster, but it's Brobing Nag.
nice.
I don't
Rob.
know. I don't know.
It's a giantish word that means ruler or king. It's from the
Uh,
Ordning.
I liked it before where he's Tord Lord Cord of Cord.
I am that as well.
He's that as well.
He's that as well.
He is a cord of many different colors,
Rainbow colors.
and we can tie him in knots.
Okay, let us
Strings on my
proceed to.
Okay, so we're in the keep of the we're in the keep of Bulgar, right?
Yes.
All right. So he's, of course, you're invited to his big feasting, and you guys can smell the meats cooking long before you get there. And they've pulled out all the stops. They've rolled out the barrels of wine dating way back to before the Revening. There are giantess dancers already reveling and enjoying themselves.
That sounds scary.
Oh yeah, it would be for you, Cord. You've not yet found love, and this is the first place where there are women that are worthy of your status.
I remember that is like just massive people dancing.
Hmm Can you imagine what the ground would feel like, shaking? You can hear. This is how the rumors that the storm giants actually controlled the weather from. It was from their bowling. No, it really was. Historically, that's what they were supposedly doing. It was rolling the rocks north of the mountains.
Okay, this is what's today's date?
The
I
20th.
got it. 5/20. Is it just 5/20?
It is just 5:20.
Oh,
Does it feel later than that?
yeah, I was hoping it was later than that.
What are you looking for?
2000.
2020. Sorry.
Yes, it is 2020.
No.
5/20/2020.
Oh, it is 5/20/2020. But that'll
Yeah.
happen every month now. So there'll be a 12/20/2020. 20.
Yeah, but there can never be a 20/20/20.
No, it could be 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock and 20 minutes. Military time.
Oh, yeah.
Then it could be 2020 on 2020/20.
I'll remind you at 8 o'clock.
You could just wait until April of 2021, and then that'll be
God, I don't even know how I'm
2020
going to
and
eat
20.
at this place. They probably got giant sized chairs, and I probably have to stand in it. I
Oh,
have.
trust me. All you do is stand next to any of the kings or any of his wives, and then the pieces falling off their table that they're not eating are going to be big enough for you to have whole feasts on. So,
Wow.
Not exactly my idea of it.
oh, don't worry. The giant slobber won't change the flavor too much.
Mm-hmm.
I will walk over to the cut of meat and cut off my own piece, and I'll make sure that I get something for Elizabeth as well. And
Oh, are you kidding? She's gleefully rolling around on the tabletop between the different giants, entertaining them with her antics while eating off of their plates the little bits and pieces that they're not eating. Remember, the grung are not so discriminating to be as picky as regular folk. Let's see here. I was going to get you the actual date in Nycosian time for those that are really interested in that kind of stuff. Because if we go with the chronology, okay, so the month is the month of Lauds,
what? Lauds?
Lauds, yes.
Lauds.
And then that's Monday, Tuesday. It's Carry Day.
Mm-hmm.
Carry Day.
Carrie.
Carry Day.
Harry or Carrie?
Carry. Carry Day.
Carry. Day. Year.
127.
Okay.
127 AR.
After.
Although we have seen places in other campaigns where they're already starting to call it 8I.
Yeah. 8I.
That's because there are some people that believe there actually are. This is another iteration. So.
I'm going to
Okay.
talk to Glurzar.
All right. So Glurzar and his retinue are laughing and throwing little bits of frosting and stuff at the happy little grung who's nibbling and joking and cavorting. Not much different than a tiny frog would be in amongst a bunch of tilt children. Wait! He stops everybody. Stops. We have amongst us our champions. They have freed our nation and returned us to our place and proper leadership of this land. To Cord and his associates! Huzzah! Huzzah! And the sound just the walls are vibrating with the sounds of your names.
Ah, yes.
You are the first of your kin to be among us as an equal, and we want to therefore offer you a rightful place in the ordning.
Okay. All right. Where's that?
Well, you'll fall someplace below Hill Giant.
I suspected as much. Well, I mean,
you don't have the stature to hold a higher position.
my mother always said you can never get high unless you've gotten to rock bottom or something like that.
That's pretty close. It's a fair thing to say, especially the rock bottom part. And he ribs one of the stone giants who kind of rolls his eyes.
Nice.
It's obvious that the stone giants are here more out of their own curiosity than any invitation. But the
Stone giants are weird folk.
Yeah, well, and so the hill giants, of course, haven't even looked up from their platters. They grabbed a glass when they called out a toast, but they really aren't even really. The problem with hill giants is they are so selfish that they really they're not even aware of the others.
Storm and frost. Yeah.
Storm and frost.
I should probably tell them about Hellbolt. Or not Hellbolt. High Peak.
Yep, you need to get a word out to High Peak. That hasn't been attempted yet.
I could carry one back if you want me to.
We'll do that later. the magic scroll that absorbed all the curse of this place.
Yeah.
You think your forge can destroy it? You said.
Well, if we got it back up to full speed, but more importantly, you were looking for a weapon that would be able to smite. I believe you said Tarask.
Yes, the Tarask of Tirkun.
Okay, so in that case, I would suggest that the first thing that we have to do is that you will have to go and find the Sky Stone.
The Sky Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2 questions. First, what is the Sky Stone?
The Sky Stone is the reported and often heralded piece of Nimbus that fell to earth, fell to the surface at a place called Hammerfall.
Okay. And how does this?
Well, the size of the object by eyewitnesses who observed Hammerfall was no larger than the gate of our city. And yet it devastated the nation of the Blinn and obliterated them as a threat from the 4th iteration. I'm sorry, from the 2nd iteration.
By the gods. As the Nassau scientists tell me, size sometimes doesn't have to do with what they call it. Maz is what they called it. Yes. So I need to get the Sky Stone. Okay.
That if we can then create or modify the forge so that it's hot enough to work that Sky Stone, then we might be able to make you the weapon that you're seeking.
All right, it's at Hammerfall. Okay. Is there anything I can get your people while on my journey to Hammerfall?
Oh, he says, well, he kind of chuckles and says, you might want to look at the map before you start planning how you're going to collect your wage, so to speak, for the travels to go there.
I'd like to look at the map and see where it is.
Okay. I'm going to go to the map. Hammerfall.
You go to the map. Look at Hammerfall compared to here.
Where's that? Farthville, no.
South of Silk.
It's south of Silk is...
I have a gate there.
She
whispers to you. It will only take me a moment to get there.
Where is Hammerfall?
Okay, so it's in the Whisper Mist.
Whisper Mist.
It's literally a world away from these guys' standpoint. It's in the southern tip of the continent. Yeah, Yardland, I mean.
Ah. Okay, oh wow, yeah. Oh wow.
So it's not like you're crossing the river to get it. It's a half a world away. Now, granted, Jean has the ace card they don't know about, but
yes, here's what can happen. She can spy on that place with her Eye of Sauron or whatever.
No.
And then, you can now, and then you can zap there with your clerical ability.
No.
She already built a gate there. She built a gate there specifically for the Dragonborn that came to visit you. Remember?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, she built the gate when she went down there.
That's right, because you guys that's where you guys did the crossover. That's right.
Yep, we had the crossover. She built the gate, and I guess she can finally pick up all those letters that
what's her name has been leaving her.
Yeah,
That's
and she hasn't
funny.
been there. Yeah.
That's funny. Every time she delivers another letter there, I can just see Tiara kind of her face lowering because she doesn't even care enough to read her letters.
Oh, one more question, Blizzard.
Oh, there's more. There's so much more. You were going to messengers running back at one of his ogres running back inside to get his book. He's got a big volume.
Wait a moment. Didn't we already do what you wanted?
This is just a favor. Yes, Mary, I did what they wanted.
You did exactly what we wanted, and we're rewarding you.
Yes. My question was, what is your opinion of Dragonia?
Dragonia? Don't believe we've even heard of them.
That's actually a good point. Okay. I have firsthand evidence that there is a kingdom of dragonkin growing in the south. And your thoughts on this?
That's problematic. Why would they be rising up? What, you think the dragons are coming back too?
No, I'm not a part of it. I mean,
No, I didn't mean that. I just mean, is this something you know for certainty? Are the dragons returning?
I know that there is a large empire of people growing down south that believe so.
Are they in the south? They're to the north of us, aren't they?
They're down in the Swarthier Plain.
Remember where you are, Gene.
We're in what's it called? We're in Chuntroa.
Okay.
You went way north, remember?
That's right.
So it would be south of you.
Yeah. Does the giant race have any qualms with dragon folk?
Do giants have any problems with dragon kind? What do you think? Who fights for the heights?
The dragons.
Who wants to claim the highest roosts for their dragons' lairs when we are trying to build fortresses up there?
I don't know. It's fair enough.
None of that. You know a dragon. I mean, you
Yeah.
personally. I mean, these guys don't know you know that, but you know a dragon personally. It lives right there in Hellvault or near Hellvault.
Yeah. And also the black dragon in the middle of the Mornglade.
Yeah, you're aware of several.
Also, Tiamat.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let them know that you got a spokesman for Tiamat in your presence. That'll go over well.
I don't. You better not mention.
Oh, and by the way, just so we're clear, Miri over there has
Nice.
dysthymia. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
She's gonna take out a dagger and find a painful place to stick it. Somewhere around your thigh or the back of your knee.
That was awful specific of you. You know, what I could do is I could stab.
Can I speak to you for a moment?
Yes, of course.
She is going to take silence. And she's going to make a wall of silence around her, kind of like
a cone of silence.
I was going there. You're gonna cast a cone of silence,
or like a dome of silence, where we can speak inside and they can't hear us.
Right.
Okay.
No, you're supposed to do it like Get Smart used to, and nobody can hear you.
Okay. So she creates the dome of silence. Cord.
What?
No one can know that I have that. No one ever. Please don't even make a joke about it.
What?
No, you're inside. You can hear.
No, he's making a joke because the original cone of silence was just that. It was a cone where nobody could hear anybody, and in the old Get Smart series, it was a thing where they would do all kinds of comedy.
I actually went to the very first Get Smart Hollywood preview.
Of course you did.
I did, and it was, the two that we went and saw, I Dream of Jeannie and Get Smart.
Nice.
I totally believe that. I totally believe that's exactly what you would do, Gene.
Another was Cord.
Adrenaline rush. I live for it.
Cord.
What?
It's no joke. You can't whisper it. You can't talk about it. You cannot infer it. Please.
Can I use Morse code?
No. Just in case another might pick it up.
Miri, I don't. I don't
Cord,
think the others are
one
after
thing.
your.
It's the only thing that I have ever asked of you.
That is
And it's
true.
one thing I need to have total silence. You know nothing. It
All
doesn't
right,
exist.
I will do this for you, Mary.
Thank you.
Now you might want to drop that wall. I'm sure everyone's staring at us, mouth things at each other.
No, you walked
Yeah.
back. She said she took you, dragged you away.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're off on the side. They still see you standing, gesticulating and arguing with each other, but they can't hear a word you're saying.
Okay. So,
As you come back, Glorzor looks down at you with kind of a knowing look, Cord, and goes, "Oh, lovers' quarrel."
Anyways, what was I saying about giant relationship? Yeah, going wrong. Yeah, it didn't take very long, did it? Glazar, you are a fine plot hook. You are. Um, I just want to say that
I'm a fine what?
a fine plot hook.
Plot arc.
Plot hook.
Plot hook. Oh, I'm so much more than that. You returned me to my position and retained our culture and reestablished our line for all of the coming future of Nycos.
Oh, I have more questions then. What does that mean for the rook?
What? The orcs?
Yes.
They'll be cleansed.
Right.
We'll have to reclaim our land one.
All right. And what about the land around Chuntroa?
I wouldn't call it. I would think that you would probably not want to call it that anymore, since that is a rook name.
What would you like that I called it?
That's a good question. Let me go and look in my book of what we called this land long ago.
hey, Jacob.
Hey,
Hey, it slipped my mind.
It slipped your mind. Nycos slipped your mind.
Oh,
That's
sin, sacrilege. How could you, Jacob?
cut me. Do I not bleed? Oh, I'm wounded. Let's see here. I must find an appropriate name.
Big
Anyway,
Stone,
good to have you with us.
Rocky Place, Desert.
No, I'm looking for a historical name.
I'm trying to annoy you though.
I totally get that.
Civil War.
Oh, that's coming. That is coming. We don't have to worry about that.
Destruction of all that the ordning stood for. Rookland.
Just a second.
Rebellion.
I know you're trying to blind my ears so I can't think straight. So please be patient with me, because I need to pull up the appropriate ancestral name for this location, since you've made it clear that we are reestablishing. Ah, here we go. Yes, I remember now. We shall call this place Vafthrender.
That I've heard that name before. I even have a patch to go here.
What?
Yeah, it was given to me by a guy named Trax.
You're right. I can't bring it here. That's not the right place. I knew I picked the wrong one. Just a second.
I gotta. I just realized, because I have 75 million gold pieces, I could create 125 large castles or palaces according to the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Because you have what?
Say that again.
Because I have 75 million gold pieces, I could create 125 large castles or palaces.
Don't need that many.
Yeah, he might.
Wait, instant or?
No, it's just how much it would cost to
Instant.
build. That's how much it would
Yeah,
cost.
it would take 1,200 days, I believe, to construct them, though.
Unless they had a lyre of building.
Yeah,
A
yeah. Unless,
liability.
No, a lyre of building. It's a musical
nice.
instrument that
So liability. Get it?
I got it. I got it. Took me a little moment.
Okay, wrong place. Give me a second.
All right, Jackson. Oh, to catch you up, Jackson, we're in the Hall of the Giants, and we're feasting, and then I guess we're gonna go get a giant stone. I guess.
A Stonehenge?
No.
No. I mean, like a meteorite. Unless
Star
someone
metal.
else.
Her quest to become a god. She's with you right now because right now, until she gets you,
She's actually still working. Remember, she's still each night she leaves for several hours because she's conferring with the priesthood of the rainbow who are building out the temple in Concordia.
If it is my quest, then I shall do it, not only for myself, but also for my companions.
Yes. Oh, I know where it is. I'm looking in the wrong place. Duh. It's going. Why can't I find it? And it's like, oh, I'm looking in the wrong document. Closer. Again, closer. Da, 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 da.
One sec. I'm going to go eat some pasta.
Okay, you go eat some pasta while I will continue with our storyline, and I'll figure out where I put the name to this place. I'm getting closer here. I just am not in the right spot here. Da, 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 da. Rise and fall. Yeah, there we go. Rise and fall. There we go.
how tall are these giants?
I'll have to go look in the book. I don't know off the top of my head.
So, never mind. Stay there and find what you want to find.
That's okay. Just a few seconds here. There we go. This guy's name was Bulgar, is that what we said? Bulgar, Bulgar.
Wait a moment. I wrote it down last week. Both names. Now, can I read what I wrote? Brobdingnag. Okay.
No, that's his name. That's his title.
Yeah, he's Brobdingnag.
Glothar Bolgar, I think. Glothar Bolgan, something like that.
New Cordington.
New Cordington. That's what you may name it, but that's not. They're trying to give it an ancestral name, so I'm just trying to find the original name that I gave to the location.
I'm positive I wrote this down, but my writing is so bad trying to do it.
I know where else it might be. One more place to look. Da, 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 da. Nope, that's not it. Try again. Open. There we go. Now I got it. Okay. We will call this place Karth. Yes, Karth.
Arth?
K A R
K-A-L.
K-A-R-T-H.
And it used to be what?
Chuntroa.
Well, the nation,
Sean.
the nation will be called Karth.
Okay.
But
Giants.
that's the name officially being given by the giants of the land that they're going to claim back from the Rook, which is the Chuntroa nation of Chuntroa. Basically, it's one town, this little hold that you've just reestablished, declaring war on the whole nation. So I wouldn't put a for now.
Okay.
Alrighty, and for clarification, the other thing we want to know about is
I don't know. How did you do this? I don't know. All you do is you just push and the cards come out. I thought I had to undo the last. How did you break it? I don't know. I can't even figure out how it broke.
she's having fun there.
The slots are still there. Oh my god.
Oh, and by the way, just for clarification, in case you didn't already figure this out, they are the fire giants are Grey Vale.
First, the bottom one popped off, and then when I was trying to get it back on and figure out how it worked, how it fit on.
Matter of fact, all giants are Grey Vale for the most part.
It just kind of
Might makes right, and power is the key to everything. So let's let me see if I can get her muted because I don't want her
I'm sorry.
laundry going out like that. So.
Like a Chinese puzzle that you somehow solved when you weren't supposed to.
I can't mute her. For some reason, not letting me mute her.
Gene, your mic is on.
Gene,
Me
your
too.
mic's on. Gene, if you need to talk to him, mute your phone, mute your mic.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's your stuff. You need to take care of, but it's happening on the stream when you forget to mute.
You're right. I did.
It's just he doesn't need to treat you like that, and I'm sorry that you're having to put up with that, but. And welcome to the game, Jackson. So I'm glad that Cord brought you up to speed.
Yep. We filled it in on our current situation. At the feast table, of the giants.
Feast table of the new uh, Brobdingnag of Karth.
Yeah, good old
Glurzar
Glurzar.
Bulgur.
Just let me get that down.
Gluthar.
Gluthar.
Okay, glue, GL.
Go ahead and just put it into the chat board if you don't mind, for everybody so they can see it. Alrighty, so now we've got his name down. Luther Brobdingnag of Karth is pleased, and the mead and the wine doth flow, shall we say, and the party is full rager, college campus stupid as far as people betting on drinking and giantess putting the goblets between their breasts and having the men drink from them, that kind of craziness.
There's a couple of giant keg stands happening.
Seriously. Insanity. Big party. In the morning, I think the only one who'd probably be anywhere close to sober will be Miri, because everyone else is going to have partied until ridiculous.
I shall swim in mead.
Yes. You fall asleep with your arms around two of the beauties. Mead casks, I mean, not the women. Although, to be honest, there is a hill giant, a hill giantess named Dirtha, and Dirtha really had an eye for you, Cord.
Oh, that's sweet. And nothing else.
She dances with you a couple of times, but she keeps inviting you to come back to her stronghold because she could use a mighty warrior like you. Nice. Virile male unit, that kind of thing.
In Jackson's mind, he thinks,
Sorry, Dirtha.
Is it weird to have a boner?
Nice! Way to go, way to go, Jackson! You just went right for that edge, didn't you? Yeah, no, are you kidding? The giantesses are definitely pleased with that, because they go, at least part of you must be stone. Great.
They call us giant.
Yeah, that's bragging on Jackson's part, but hey.
Anyhow, I hate to disappoint Dirtha, but I'm on a mission from God.
Yes.
And I'll say that as I start guzzling mead.
Nice. Like I said, you wake up with your arms around two of the beauties, meaning kegs of mead. Drunk in a corner, passed out on the floor. Miri's probably looking down at you, shaking her head. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
God, wish.
I'm the chosen one, Miri.
And just so you know, Jackson, if you
Wait, James Kurt?
Yes. if you want to get friendly with the locals, you just say so. But that's as far as you get to go. You get friendly with them, and then it's the next day, because that's how Kirk rolled. He probably went and spent some time with them, but when it came dawn, he was back to all business, and nobody knew. So, you get to keep your own counsel there, Jackson. I don't care how much you partied, but no one will ever hear it on the stream, because I won't let you detail that out, okay?
I might just have fun a bit.
Yeah, well, you realize that there weren't just giants as well. This kingdom does people to party with, so to speak. So, it is now the morning after And if you party really hard, go ahead and make a Constitution save, DC 13, to see whether or not you're carrying over any of the after effects of a party.
You got a nat 1.
There you go. And I know that Jean won't even bother rolling because, of course, she would have deigned to not even get involved at that level. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she would have partied with everybody.
4.
It's not that you're disgusted with it necessarily, Miri. It just may not be your cup of tea. I don't know. Or
Wait, marriage?
keg of mead. No. Oh.
No. At first, I thought you said marriage. It was like, what?
Well, that's the thing that's really funny is that when the Torg wakes up in the morning, since he rolled a nat 1, he does have a wreath of olive branches around his head of your helmet. So you're wearing all your gear like you just came back from the battlefield. Apparently, you were showing somebody what it was like to actually be the Torg, and in the process, somebody put a wreath of laurel leaves, which suggests that you are now betrothed.
I gotta get out of here real quick. Some friggin' pranks hits me in the middle of the night, Mary. I'm in over my head.
Mary's probably the way it looks to me is like Mary's over there across the room with her arms crossed, not even looking back at you.
Jackson, cast greater restoration on me, please.
Jackson can't cast spells. He's a fighter.
Well, actually, I'm an Eldritch Knight.
Yes, but even so, you can't cast greater restoration or even lesser restoration.
Do it, Jackson. Do it.
I don't even have that spell.
I gotta take stock of the situation.
Okay.
All right.
So here's the first bit of stock in the situation you'll want to know. Her name is Laylee. Laylee. Leile.
Laylee?
Yes. Laylee. What's the thing?
Mainly.
Laylee.
Well, mainly is that
Laylee Rangbin. Rangbin. Rangbein. Laylee Rangbine. And Rangbine literally means bent bones or the bow-legged.
You know, it's one of these days where I'm glad Omara's not here.
Yes. But anyway, Laylee, when you do finally start staggering around, you find that she's actually not one of the ones that was partying during the night. She's actually quite reserved because of her family's reputation. Apparently, her father was supposed to be watching the gates the night that the Grolem invasion occurred, and so he's kind of blamed. And so she's hoping that by aligning herself with you, you'll be able to redeem her family name and return to her the honor of being a member of the Ordning's High Guard.
Ah, great.
Yes.
Then it's not true love. Good. That's great.
Yes.
It has,
Yes. Her actual last name, you'll like even better. Her actual last name, so she's actually Laylee Sigyn. Sigyn. Like as in Sigmund, but it's Sigyn. And that name literally means the victorious girlfriend.
damn
right.
you, Lord.
Hey. First off, I mean, we all got a little crazy last night. Just fess up, Jackson. I saw you over there, as they say, getting it on. Okay? So let's not cast aspersions here. I will resolve this once we have obtained the Sky Stone. I don't think I'm gonna. I think I can return. I'm gonna talk fairly briefly about the situation.
Yes, I'm sure you'll want to speak with Laylee, and of course she'll explain that the whole situation in detail. But the problem is when you walk into the room where she is the first time you've actually, while sort of sober, seen her. Go ahead and make your charisma save DC 20.
Okay.
So
Alrighty.
he needs to get a nat 20. Or a modified 20.
Yeah, I fell.
Okay, so she is the
Not close.
she is the most beautiful creature you've ever seen. She's about 7 inches taller than you, which is small for a frost giant, for a fire giant. But she's got the brilliant red hair and the dark, almost ember colored, ashy colored skin, and the steel in her eyes feels like it might have been forged in your soul.
Well, I need a towel.
Oh, come
there.
on.
7-pointed amber star of the yellow veil.
Hold up, let me check if Vol and
Oh, Vol's okay with change.
Travis's handy card.
Yeah, go check the handy chart. Yeah, pull up the handy chart.
Enemies.
The easy to use handy chart of Nycos. Let's go see.
Veils
Look at that.
simplified.
Gray power has
Oh, yeah.
adaptation for amber. Yep. It's
oh,
like
yeah.
the moth. It's literally the gray moth to the yellow flame. She is danger. She is danger personified. She is what you live for. And that's just from first sight.
Damn it.
I need to roleplay this like Cord, not how my instincts are telling me to do, as not Cord.
I don't know. What are your instincts? What would you?
Okay.
Damn it.
I mean, obviously the whole run for the hills thing, because it is the laurel does represent betrothal.
I would say I would handle this clinically.
Oh, yeah, that may not be the appropriate way to handle it, but you can try that. So you've walked into the room where she is. She's looked across the room, and in the expanse of just 2 seconds, you started all of these little churnings in your brain. She's motioning for you to come closer, and she's got a laurel wreath around her head as well. It doesn't look nearly as organized as the one you're wearing, or as well plated. It looks like somebody who might have been drunk was plating it. So, more than likely, it's your own handiwork, just so you know.
Oh man, last night got a little rough, didn't it?
It got a little it got a little wonderful, didn't it?
You're
both saying at the same time, and so you say rough, and she says wonderful.
Rambunctious.
And then you say rambunctious.
Probably a better word.
And then she says rough. At the same time, you say rambunctious. She kind of laughs.
By the sideline.
You should go first, my lord. And there's a bit of weight to the way she says my lord.
By the sideline.
Oh, you can dispense with the formalities. Jackson, do you want to come over here and be part of the conversation?
She kind of laughs and she says, "Do you need a second? Are we going to end up with a duel? Do I have to arm wrestle you?" Yes, I've heard about your dalliance with the mortal Umara, and I don't take that as an affront. I figure that was, I guess, foreplay.
Wait a minute. Are you saying I'm going to have to wrestle Umara for your love? Is that what you're saying?
No, you have to wrestle me for the right to ownership.
What?
I mean, that's what happened last time.
Oh. All right.
You didn't know that's a rule of ordaining?
Okay. So
the very concept of husband and wife came directly from
I have a question. Just politically speaking.
Sure.
On the ordaining, I am below hill giants, and you are what, 3 ranks above them? What do you stand to gain by marrying me? I don't understand that.
As I said, my father has dishonored our family name, and we're now called bow-legged. It's an insult for my father, and it's carrying down to the generations. I need to avenge this, and the short course to that vengeance is, quite frankly,
Is me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm a gamble. Interesting. Okay, that's
of
very
course,
spicy.
I'm yellow. Yeah, of course.
That's very, very spicy.
You show a level of risk that is worth the reward.
Well,
and trust me, when this is done, you will be well rewarded. And she brushes her hand along your cheek line.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm not interested. I mean, I obviously am.
Obviously, you were since you betrothed me last night.
I am very interested, yes. But on the other hand, two things. One, I'm on a mission from God, the gods, the pantheon, all of them. Don't mean to brag, but I'm sort of on a single track right now. And secondly, I have ambitions outside of marriage.
You mean you want to conquer other women too?
No. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. If by women you mean kingdoms, then yes, of course. I would like to conquer all the women.
Oh, if by nations you mean women,
no, that's not what I mean. I mean,
I take it back. This is gold.
Okay. My second thing. Back to my second thing.
Do you remember what your second thing was? She puts her
hand on
ambition.
I have ambitions outside of marriage.
Again, you keep saying that outside of marriage thing. It sounds like you want women that are not me.
Oh,
and she grabs your hand with both hands and pushes it to her chest above her bosom.
Oh my God, this is getting so good.
She says,
I don't mean to turn you down, but I can help your father and your family regain their former glory without marriage.
And I can raise you within the ordning.
No offense, but I'm okay with sub-hill giant.
She taps you on the forehead and says, I know you serve Vol. And Vol would not be accepting of only the lowest rank in the ordning.
Oh, I think Vol would understand going around trying to prove yourself to every single race you meet isn't exactly a great way to throw around power, too.
Why waste all your time doing that when you can step to the appropriate rank by one action?
Mary has they're in there so long that Mary has become curious and walked across.
Oh yeah, Mary walks into the middle as just as
I'm saying.
What
I'm saying.
Just for clarification, Mary, when you walk over, he's saying, all you need to do is conquer this one, and you can have the rank that you want, that you desire.
I'm laughing my ass.
Yes, and
Jackson
is standing right there fanning himself because
there are ways that we can resolve your predicament that do not involve betrothal.
Why would you want out of this? Just in the meta, Cord. Why would you want out of this?
Is remembering the promise he made to those wood elves.
What's that?
My firstborn son.
Oh, but to have one of those, you have to have a spouse.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not getting a spouse.
Oh, I'm sorry. You've already betrothed one because of your rolling of a 1 last night.
All right, smart guy. You remember that blessing Mary gave me that allows me to BP something in hindsight?
You're gonna BP your potential only source of love in this life?
No.
One who is the sun, moon, and stars to you, literally by the definition of her name.
Anyway, I don't have
okay. Let's go with a comparison here. Remember that you're traveling in the presence of Miri, whose goal in life is to find true love and have children.
Right.
You're going to turn down the possibility in your own life to have the very thing that she dreams about? Do you think she'll let you walk through a day of your life that she won't remind you and cause you to
She's not happy with him, with the fire giant.
Oh, yeah, okay. All
I
right,
think
all right.
he
I'm not gonna be
deserves
Pete. Don't worry.
better.
I'm not gonna be Pete. Don't worry. Don't worry.
No. Hey, listen to what she's saying.
Well.
Mary walks up, and you're talking to this fire giant young lady. Like I said, she's only 7 inches taller than you, which makes her small of her own kind. But Mary, just for clarification, Mary, this morning when he woke up, he had a laurel wreath on his head, made by a woman's hand.
Okay.
He asked around about it, and they said, "Yeah, you're betrothed." So he went to find out who she was. So he found out. Let me finish the description so that she knows what you were working with. Then you can fill in. He went and looked for who the girl was, the woman that he had supposedly had this fling with. Her name is Laylee, and her last name is
Signet.
no. That's
Sin.
that's what it is.
Her last name is Ringbin.
Yeah, Ringbin, and that's the insult. But her actual family name is that other Sijin, which means victorious girlfriend or victorious woman. And so she wants to regain that name. So she believes that she can do so by having a mate who is worthy of a higher rank. And so she's scooping, if you will, the bottom of the barrel because no fire giant would have her, and she wouldn't deign to go after any other species of giant. So the only thing she can hope for is that this new thing that is Cord, with his attempt to go after the Tarask, will elevate her in the process, and therefore get her to regain her honor. But in order for that to work, the giant's courtship ritual includes him having to actually best her in conflict, not of a grapevine that he had wrestled against Umara. And so she has said that it does not stain her that Umara has already bested him, because she knows that he's better than Umara, and that he deserves greater and more. And so that's why she's offered herself. In his drunken stupor last night, he actually made a laurel wreath.
What was I going to say? I had something.
I need.
Fact.
Cord, are you not? What brought us here?
Okay, new dream.
Mute yourself,
What?
Jackson.
I think he's off for some reason.
Yep, they're both off for right now. Yeah, I think he's talking to his folks.
All right.
What brought you here, Cord?
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, what brought you here, Cord?
What brought me here? I woke up with Laurel on my head and Laylee.
No. What brought us on this journey?
I'm going to become a god. Goddom.
Okay. And you have another promise as well.
Which is, remind me?
To the elves?
No, he knows that. Yeah, he mentioned it. Matter of fact, that's why he was backpedaling. He's going, oh shit.
Yeah, but it was before I got in here.
Yeah.
He mentioned it in meta.
Right, gotcha.
So I'm just mentioning. Do you think that such a child would be acceptable to them?
No.
Now, I do not know their marriage customs, but if you let the betrothal stand, you defeat her in battle. Once you become a god, do you still have to fulfill that promise?
I don't.
But you do have another one that goes. Would you then turn both of them down?
I would. My betrothal.
Okay.
The other one I would avoid and not directly oppose.
Okay, if you do not fulfill it, I will find a way to.
I don't like the sound of that in any capacity.
No, that has all kinds of. That's rather dark.
The capabilities.
Why?
Those are like.
I mean, I would fulfill returning a child to them because they lost one.
All
But
right.
but it's
Okay.
not your
All
job,
right,
it's
okay.
his job.
All
He's
right,
the one who
okay.
claimed it.
All right. Okay. Claimed it? No, it was thrust upon me. I was just trying to build my darn road. How was I supposed to know that that tree had a kid inside it?
Wow,
Wait.
you are so third party sometimes. I love it.
Jeez.
Just completely distance yourself from that entire incident. It was just an
It's true.
accident. It had
It's true,
nothing to do
though.
with it.
Wait.
Or rather, a tour at Mary's soul.
It should have been a hit and run. I shouldn't have
Nice.
stopped and exchanged contact
Nice.
information.
A run? Are you? No.
I should not have exchanged
And
contact
when
information.
you say that, Laylee looks you right in the eyes and says, "Last night was no hit and run, my love."
Okay, that's not what. I roll for
Man,
initiative.
Thor, you are screwed.
I roll to fight something because this is D&D. God damn it.
Roll initiative.
He goes,
Isn't that
this
a roll
is
initiative?
Dungeons and Dragons. This is not role play Romeo here.
This ain't waifu simulator. This is Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, goddamn. Oh, my last thing I'm going to say, Laylee.
Just say
Is
yes.
that-
Just say yes, and we will meet on the field when necessary.
I will say more than yes. No, that's not what I meant. I will say, no. I'm going to be frank and upfront with you. No, I do not want to become betrothed to you.
I heard you say more than yes, and you did want to be betrothed to me. Look
No.
at my hat. Look at this ridiculous
Yeah,
hat I'm wearing. You made this for me.
Okay. First off, that's a lie. I'm good with metal.
I think
Not
if
with anything else.
I think if I run the tapes, we can see that you did this.
This
Let me
party
think here.
is going to hell.
Just give it time. Don't worry, my love. We don't have to. We were both long-lived creatures.
No.
We can.
I-
do
No,
this.
I'm
We-
just going to
We
say
can do
this.
this. We can do this again.
Laylee, this is not about me.
We
It's
can do
about
this in
you.
the
You
spring.
deserve better. You deserve better
There is
than
no.
me.
There is none better than you, my love. And she puts her hand on your.
Okay,
on
that's
your-
it.
on your-
Okay, everyone, grab your things. Everyone in the dog guard, grab your things. We're leaving. We're leaving effective immediately.
No, stay. I want to see how this
Jackson's
goes.
going. No, I want to know.
Jackson, I will personally haul you from this castle, this deranged hell, madhouse of insanity, if you do not comply.
Well,
I'm leaving.
like the time
Make
you
sure you
married
have
a
her
giant.
name spelled properly, because you will see her again.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
I'm just going to say
All right, I'm packing
this
up all my
party
stuff.
is going.
Fire giants are ugly.
What?
You take
I'm
that
going
back.
to
You
salute
take that back.
Have you seen Brave? The animated show Brave?
the movie.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
I haven't.
Yeah, I seen it. I
What's that supposed to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mary.
guys,
well, you're not looking so hot yourself right now.
And then red hair.
Yeah.
And what?
guys, I'm just going to say this. This
What?
party is going to hell.
What? No, it's not. This is. We're on our way to marital bliss. Are you kidding?
No. Like over this whole thing, I was like, oh my god, this party is going to hell because Torik's Mary's opinion.
No, I do not want you to speak of it in past tense. In fact, I do not want you to speak of it. Compose yourself. This is no laughing matter.
Say
Well,
you're a
it's-
Jews
well,
for
it's kind
now.
Well, it's kind
Don't
of
be
funny.
polite. Just say you're a Jews for now to Laylee. And I will step you out of here. We
Yes.
can go directly to Silk.
Yes. I'm gonna say goodbye to the Torg. I mean, not the Torg. The Fire Giant King, Bluthor. I'm gonna say bye to him. Then I'm gonna go.
Okay, just a second.
We walk outside and then she'll find a place and take you.
And step away. I give her my. Just let that on the record. The answer was no.
Answer is no.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Are you sure?
I said it.
Okay, well, just a
Yeah,
second.
I,
Just a second here. Just a second. We don't want to be hasty or anything.
I mean, no, it's already been said. We're stepping now. I gave her my answer.
I know, but I have to show you what you're leaving behind, just so you're not.
You know you're messed
Oh,
up.
okay.
You know that.
There you go.
Nice.
That's what she looks like.
But you said red hair.
It is red hair.
Auburn.
That's okay. It's red enough. It didn't-
John, what in the name of the Nine Hells did you have to search to get that image?
I put in. You want to know so you can go get a picture for yourself. I know. That was that's Norse giants and giantesses, Norse mythology.
All right. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yep.
Jotun.
Oh, John.
Jotun.
John.
Jotun. Jotun in mythology. I can see that'll be your screensaver from now on.
Mary goes to Laylee.
Yes.
If you love something, set it free.
Oh,
No.
Wait a moment.
Okay.
If it comes back to you, it's yours. If not, it never was.
And she says, that's great, but the giants have another saying. The giant saying is, if you love something, set it free. If it doesn't come back, you hunt it down and kill it.
I like mine better.
Well, Torg's butt is going to be hunted.
No, he's going to return. He's going to return to his true love because she's been foreordained by the fact that he rolled a nat 1 on their night of betrothal. So
it's okay. I'll just make myself super unattractive.
Keep yourself busy. Keep yourself. Oh! Please don't do that. I was married for 23 years and I intentionally gained over 90 pounds, thinking that would make my marriage work better. I was thinking that I was protecting myself from infidelity. All I did is pissed off my wife. So don't do that.
Well, I mean,
just realize that I'm going to be needling you incessantly with remembrances of your one torrid evening.
okay. All right. Okay, well.
Okay, so you rush Miri. Miri gets everything set up for the gate walk. Of course, you don't have anything else but the name of the item.
Oh, if you want to come back here, damn, we need a place to make a gate.
Right.
So we,
Guess what? Guess whose land is adjacent to that tower?
whose land?
Sigyn's. She'll gladly donate the land for you to build a gate, so you can bring her love back to her.
Okay. This is what she does. This is what you need to do. Build it large enough. So
Obviously for our man.
Yes. And then she says, use this brand to.
No, you have to build it, Gene. She can't build it for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you have
So
to.
we'll have to stay here long enough for me to make that gate.
Therefore, we can spend a few more days in courting while we're here. It won't be. I promise, I won't be in your way at all. I'll just be here at your pleasure.
They could do the stonework, but I have to set the gate.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Then she asks them if they do the stonework. She draws it. Okay.
Oh yeah. The one thing about Laylee is that Laylee's friends are craftsmen. So.
Okay. And therefore.
So no matter how much you want to get out of here, Cord, you're looking at least a couple of days with this young lady on your mind, waving at you from the top of the barricade wall and things like that.
Torg, is it going to be worth it if you become God?
He had to step away. He's away from the screen right now. Probably had to go. He probably had to go look up her image so he could put it on the screen.
And Jonathan, after all this time, I haven't even know said what my dream is in this campaign.
Your dream?
But earlier you guys were talking about like your dreams, like Tor becoming a god, and you.
No,
want-
we had no
That
dream
was
like that.
no. He's talking about in the meta. You players were talking about what you saw for your course.
Oh,
Uh,
You know,
that was what I chose for myself.
I want beyond God.
There, deity is a deity. That's it. It's,
You don't know until you get there.
of course, Valara will tell you it's the creator. That's the greatest of all.
See how good he is at fighting. They are, I should say.
the All Father.
Yeah, him. Them.
Yeah. Anyway,
And yeah, Jackson, you said yes. You're.
what is it you want out of the what do you want out of the campaign, Jackson?
I want to have a adventure family, like traveling places and like
Doing things.
Living a life. I got you. Alrighty, so we spend the next couple of days quickly passing it. Tor keeps ruining the morning because when he wakens, there's always a wreath of flowers and a full meal on a tray.
Then I shall not sleep.
I like it. She's courting you. You're supposed to court her.
No, I gave her my answer.
His answer was yes. So all she's doing to do is endear him in the process.
No, that's not. No, my answer is no. Absolutely not. No. I can solve your problem without marriage. That's what my answer was.
Methinks he protesteth too much.
Yes.
You know what? For the sake of moving this campaign along,
See?
I will still say no.
I love you. Oh, God.
Thor, is it worth becoming God to break someone's heart?
She's gonna be fine, dude.
And as she walks by, as you say that she's going to be fine, and she grins and nods like, yeah, I am fine.
Well, for one, I respect women.
What?
Oh, I'm going to have to introduce Jackson to her niece or something.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, there's a difference between court and
I mean, come on, I took care.
I know, but at least Jackson's paying attention, so I need to reward this somehow. He's engaged.
That's true.
He's engaged in the story. We found his real hook, is other people's drama. This is awesome.
Well, for one, I took care of Gen Sec children.
That's true. That's right. We should have seen this coming. Guess what? You got a built-in nanny when you do have children. Oh, wait, you're giving your first one away. I forgot.
That's it. We're leaving.
It's the third time Court has stopped out going, we're leaving. We are leaving. Oh, crap. We still got to wait for another day. Damn it. Every day that's got to happen at some point where you just go, I'm done. We're out of here. Oh, crap. I got to stick around for a little bit longer.
The next day,
I freaking love attention, but not in this.
I'm leaving. The next day.
You love attention, but not this kind, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, it passes pretty quickly, and she does remind you every day of how much she cares, and you do catch yourself staring at her, so go ahead and make wisdom saves.
Natural 20.
Did you roll that, or are you just rattling that out?
Well, at first, I was just saying that, and then I actually rolled a nat 20 on my die roll.
Uh-huh.
I can share my screen with you if you would like.
Yeah, well, now that it's after the roll, sure. Just...
Okay. Here, you know what? It's very illegal. I'll roll again. Here you go. That's an 18. So correct.
Maybe her hair wasn't parted in the right spot today.
Yeah.
You're sitting on a throne of lies.
No. I didn't build this. I didn't build this throne.
You didn't build this stone?
I didn't build the throne of lies that Jackson is referring to.
That's not what
I was honest with myself and with her. Okay.
I know. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I can tell you from the day I met my betrothed before I got married, I knew she was the right one from the very first time. So you can argue it all you want. She's convinced that you are the one.
There are two prongs on each side.
Very cool.
So you just bend one down and slide it through. Bend the other one down and slide the other side through.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so finally the gate's built.
I don't know either. As I said, the first one popped up, and I was trying to put it back on.
And by the way,
And the other one popped
you do
up.
get a conversation with Glozer that says that he's going to back your bride price. So when you do get married, he'll cover the cost to her family.
Oh, he's
Thank you. Very cool.
And you realize that will therefore make you my son-in-law in a very legal and binding way.
No, it's not happening though.
No, that's it's set in stone. I've already talked with her father.
All right. Well,
Do
okay.
you think she would give up her child?
It's not gonna be up to her.
He hasn't even talked to her about that possibility yet, because he doesn't want to admit that there would be any possibility of children.
Mary, I'm not going to marry her, so it's not gonna be a problem.
Look at Cord. You've already lain with her.
I can tell by John's face. The more I fight this, the more resolve he
Cord.
has. What?
You've already lain with her several times.
What?
He doesn't realize that, Eugene.
Excuse me?
It can take only once to conceive a child.
All right. Okay. I was joking before when I said I was done with this. Now I'm done with this. I'm done.
Yeah, he wants to get out of here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because there's no way I can do that to him. That's up to him to do. So that did not happen.
Okay.
She's
just trying to.
Yeah, I know, but that wasn't fair because Cord doesn't play that way. So that's no.
Yeah, I understand, but that's Mary brings it.
Remember, I had the Kirk conversation with Jackson. I didn't have the Kirk conversation with Cord because I knew that wouldn't be where he would go.
Okay. Anyway. Off. We go to the gate.
Yep. And there, it's a goodbye situation.
Okay.
The king does nod approvingly as Laylee comes up and gives you a kiss goodbye. Of course, if you are trying to be the stoic soldier of fortune that you are, it'll be a kiss on the cheek. But she'll stare at you longingly as she steps away.
Put my goddamn helmet on.
Hey, that's okay. She'll kiss the helmet.
Okay, you know what?
She'd kiss your boots if that's what you required of her.
Don't do that. No.
I didn't say he would do that. I said he could, that I'm just saying she is in love with him.
All right. She steps through to Silk.
Okay. You are on the hillside above Silk. There is a stack of about 40 letters underneath the rock there.
Oh, gee, money. She picks up the rock. I knew I should have come here, but things just keep drawing me another direction. She picks them and puts them in her backpack, and she'll try to order them. I guess she puts the newest one on top, so she'll read them from the bottom up. So if there's any sort of continuity,
You're taking them with you then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she leaves a message. I have your messages. I haven't had time to read them. As soon as I do, I will certainly respond to anything that you have just written.
Okay. So you've got the letters now, and to go from here to Hammerfall is, as we talked about, south. Do you wish to go the speedy way by going and hiring a ship and going around the Horn, or did you want to take the slower route across land?
Let's take a ship.
Yep, I agree.
go down to the coastline, there
Yep.
is there are two ships docked out there. One of them is a cargo ship unloading cases and crates and boxes, and a bunch of miners of all different kinds of sizes and shapes. There's some for the first time locally. It's the first time there have been any SecGen unloaded, and there are also a few Grim and even one or two Elven miners that are unloading their
Jack,
gear.
would you approach him and, oh, never mind, I'll do it myself. She walks up to one of the Elven uh, miners and in Elven addresses him and says, "A lot of miners. What are they mining?"
And they go, "You haven't heard? The gravelings have been discovered here. We were among the first to be able to make items out of magic from the raw material itself."
What
And he
are great?
he reaches into his bag and pulls out a it looks like a canary folded out of metal, golden. And he just strokes its back and it starts to sing. It has a tinny metallic sound to the voice, but it still is a beautiful song playing through as like a little tiny music box.
Did you make that?
No, this is something I bought as an example of what gravelings look like, so I know what kind of material I'm looking for. They say that it's found just laying about in lumps inside the mountains, just above Banbury. Are you from here?
No, we're visitors.
Hmm.
We're headed south.
Can't go much further south than here. And he kind of laughs and points towards the ocean.
Well, around the horn.
Mm.
Who would we see about taking ship to somewhere?
Oh, I talked to the harbor master.
All right. And she. Oh, can you point me the direction, or do you know it? Or
Yeah,
she'll ask
he,
you.
he points to the house down near the waterfront. He says, "You don't want to go there after dark, though. Just warning you."
Okay, I will take those words and keep them. Thank you. You're most kind.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
So, you going down to the harbor master's building?
yeah,
Now, you've met him once before, so maybe you'd probably be able to describe him better than I do. But
I can't. No, we never came into town.
no. I mean you as a player, since
Oh,
Tiara's met him. Do you remember? Because if you don't, I'll continue. But I do.
yeah. You're gonna have to
Okay.
because all I know is he's a trapped.
Yeah. Okay. So when you go down to the harbor master's house, the house has a large plate glass window that faces the south, but for some strange reason, it has very dark shades pulled across the glass
Okay.
from the inside. The front door faces actually the south and has an overhang, like a little porch area that covers it, preventing rainfall and such from reaching the doors. Sign on it says Harbor Master, and then it lists the hours as basically shortly after sunrise until noon, and then from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till almost sunset.
What time is it?
It's mid-afternoon.
Okay. She knocks on the door.
Enter!
She walks in. I guess everybody else is coming too.
Yep, I'm coming in.
Okay, so Cord has to stoop a bit to get through the 7-foot door since he's now considerably larger than he was the last time he traveled to sizes of normal dwellings. So it feels a little weird now to cramp inside of a mortal's building. But when you walk inside, the room is dark. There is a candle burning. There is ambient light coming from around the curtain, but the candle actually is glowing with a black flame. The person sitting in the chair looking at you you can see the reflection of the dark light in his eyes because his eyes seem to glow from within. He has a long, rather ornate and curved blade put through, what do they call that ring, Gene? The metal ring that they put the swords through. It's not a full scabbard.
Oh, it's an O-ring.
Yeah, there's a word
That's
for
how
it.
what we always called it, is an O-ring.
But there's a word for it. Let me go see if I can find it.
That's the only name I ever knew it by. So yeah,
Let's see here.
Karth. Karth, Karth. Okay.
Yep.
Gate it, Karth. New gate it, Karth.
It's called a guard ring.
Guard ring. Okay. Yeah, if you want a fast draw, that's it. You just pull the cord that holds the O-ring. It holds one end of the O-ring, and then you just pull your sword.
Yeah, because the ring is, you just use the little piece of leather strapping to hold the cross member to itself.
Yeah.
On the other side. Anyway, he's sitting lounging almost in his chair. There's a table in front of him, just slightly off to the left-hand side, with a large book, a quill pen in an inkwell.
She does divine sense.
Okay, you walk in and you do divine sense. As you do, he raises his hand, says, "Up, you got me," and he detects as chaotic evil as you can get. Just off the charts chaotic evil.
She just kind of stares at him.
He goes, don't worry, everything's fine. The sword keeps me here." What can I do for you?
A ship going south around the Horn to Hammerfall.
Business or pleasure?
Business.
Business.
It says, in that case, I'd recommend the, let me pull my other list here.
Withany?
No, Withany's ships are, oh, you know about Withany?
No, I don't. But I was offering that in meta.
Yeah, let me go look here. He says, if you're looking for business, I'd recommend the Vitheoda. That's the Eldrin vessel that's sitting offshore right now.
An elven vessel?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, if you don't mind traveling with the aquatic breathers.
Oh, sea elves.
What other kind of elf is there?
The elves of the woods.
Yeah, they don't tend to go by ocean much. But
and when they do, they fly.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, the Vitheoda is a Eldrin.
Okay, spell that.
Vitheoda, Vith.
Vioth.
No, Vith.
Vith.
Eoda.
Eoda.
Vitheoda.
Eoda. Okay.
And
it's an elven.
They're called Thassan, Thassan. Elves.
Okay, what did I detect him as? He's chaotic evil.
He's chaotic evil.
Harbor.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he is demonic. That ability points out demons within a range, and this is a demon.
You don't know that, and I haven't said anything.
I'm sure she's staring
it's
at him.
ironic.
She's staring.
My weapon.
She's staring.
Your weapon what?
My weapon frees me, and his binds him.
Right.
Okay. Demon.
It's almost meant like you're eventually supposed to fight one another or something.
Do me a favor. What's his name again?
Who, the harbor master?
Yeah.
Doug.
Yeah, Doug. Let me go look for that. You keep asking questions that require me to research the book here.
So I'm here. We're gonna get an elven ship, huh?
A sea elf ship.
That's weird.
Well, you're going to hire it.
You're going to hire it for a trip.
Hammerfall. I've heard a lot about Hammerfall, especially from Umara.
What did she tell you about it?
It was, or more specifically from Ulma. It was a place of death and destruction where the others touched down at some point in the past. I believe there's an engine there that killed many goblins, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yes.
That was a point of contact with the others. So the first point of contact, I believe.
I think you're remembering correctly.
You got him in the wrong order, but it was the third contact.
In the second iteration was the third contact?
No, it was the first contact for the third iteration.
First contact was in the third iteration. Okay.
No, first contact of the third iteration. Because the first iteration was just called Contact. Second iteration was known as Candlefall. Third one was known as Hammerfall.
Okay. Seems like they come back each time more loaded for bear.
That would be a good estimation. Let's see here. Why doesn't it give me the cast of characters? Curiouser and curiouser.
I'll tell you what. We'll hold on that. We'll just
call him the Harbor Master for now, and then I'll
Harbor Master is demonic, chaotic, evil. She's not bothering to give her name, nor the names of the others.
I'm Cord.
Is there a place where I can meet somebody from the ship and make a deal to hire it?
Oh, you simply make the deal with me. That's what I do. Because ironically, this weapon, and he pats the sword at his hip, requires me to be able to only convey only truth, and I cannot leave this location or else they will hunt me. So I am trapped in this location for protection.
Who's they?
They? The devils that made this damn weapon.
Okay. I would wish you were back in your own area, but I am glad.
My area is gone thanks to some bastards up north. They sent Occipitus home without me.
I mean, I'm so sorry to hear about that.
I can just hear you laughing first, too. Then...
Jesus.
So, I can book you passage on either that vessel. If you were going to travel by pleasure, then I would recommend the other vessel. Let's see if I can find it again.
A swift trip would be most appreciated.
Oh, the fact that you were talking about fast travel. There is a skiff that's going to be passing by part of the Eldrin fleet, known as the Peregrine, and they've got enough room for 3 of you.
What is a swift?
No, a skiff. SKYFF. Airship.
Skiffy.
Yeah. We've been doing trade now for several months with the the Altus Eldrin from the Heights. Of course, this doesn't ring a bell to you at all, but they're acting like, oh, and another thing is that you would have noticed the library in town, which was, well, you never came to town. Oh no, Mary did. Mary would not recognize the fact that there's a library now that wasn't in town before.
You have one new building.
No, we have 3.
3.
Yes. Didn't you notice the grand temple of Ralgrim?
Oh. No, I haven't. I'm going to have to stop in there.
Hmm.
And what are the other 2 buildings?
Well, the library. That it was as far as this character is concerned, it's always been here. But you saw it coming by. That the building literally looks like a stack of books. They constructed it so that it looks like a stack of books, and that the opening looks like a smaller book cover leaned against the front of the building. And the third new building is the maiden's quarters. It's
What was it? The maiden's quarters.
Mhm.
What's that?
Oh, those are that is for the women of the others that are now offering what they call essential services to the sailors. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
Okay, thank you. When is this skiff due?
It's here now. It's hovering just above where the kite used to hover.
What is a kite?
You were here and saw the kite. You talked to the.
Oh, the giant ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
let's
it
do
was
this.
it was Tiara that won aboard that ship, not Miri.
Miri, you came here to visit to question the other.
Oh, that's right. But I don't remember going on board the ship. That's okay.
No, you saw where it was, though. I'm saying it's
Yeah. Oh, the big ship.
the big ship
kite.
is gone. This is just a smaller ship, much smaller.
So how much is passage on that for the 3 of us? Cord is rather large. Will they be able to accommodate him?
Yes, they can accommodate all of you. As far as cost is concerned, well, how far north are you going?
We're going south.
I mean, how far south are you going?
We're
You
going.
said you're going around the Horn, so I can only assume that you're going back northbound.
Okay, Hammerfall.
You're going to Hammerfall.
We're going to
Yes.
Hammerfall.
Yeah, that's 10 silver each.
Okay. Pay.
Outrageous.
It is expensive, but you're traveling by air, and it'll get you there much more quickly, I should say.
Don't forget the bread thing. I forgot what's it called.
The bread equation. Yes, thank you.
The bread equation.
When
These
is he
these guys are intimately aware of the bread equation. This group, if nobody else knows the bread equation.
I have a question.
I have an answer, perhaps.
When is it going to depart?
They're planning on leaving before sunset.
Okay. Where will we meet him?
Just go to the landing. It's adjacent to where you just walk towards the ship. You'll see it.
Okay.
Just need your 30 pieces of silver and your signature.
That I have. She'll pull out a gold coin and wait for the change.
He goes, good God, I've got to give you change for a gold? Okay. 900, 950, 975, back 5, 970. There you go.
Thank you.
That's ridiculous. You should carry more coppers.
I don't have any coppers.
I'll trade out one. I'll trade out 10 of those gold for 1,000 copper then.
No,
10 of those silver for 1,000 copper.
I don't. I can't carry that much. Cord, could you carry that?
Of course.
Okay. She hands you back 10 of the silver
Okay.
for 1,000 copper.
So you have 960 copper. It's still a lot of copper. I mean, 960 silver. That's still a lot of silver.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to see the House of the Maidens.
Sure.
If you'd like to get something to eat, I'll see you later. If you want to come with me, that's something else.
She's
But
talking
I'd
to you
like,
guys. She's not talking to me anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you ask the demon to go with you anywhere, he's like, "I'm sorry, can't leave that building." Remember, curse.
no, she turned to you. Sorry, I turned to you and say, "Would you
Mary,
like?"
can I arm wrestle the demon?
I don't know if you can arm wrestle a demon. I don't know if he'd
He
want
says,
to
"Sorry,
arm
you're
wrestle.
not my type, and I'm not interested in getting betrothed. You are a giant after all."
I hate metagaming.
Oh, come on, that was funny. You gotta admit that was funny right there.
All right.
Arm wrestle a demon.
I'm gonna leave, and while Mary's going to get a bite to eat, I'm gonna go and I don't know, Jackson. What do you want to do?
Hmm.
Maiden's house, library, temple of Roma,
Library.
temple of the rainbow,
Library.
library. Okay.
Is there any markets?
What's that?
Well, there's a very nice inn.
There's a whole lot of inns. This place has got like 4 inns. You've got the
Snapping Lion.
we have the snapping
Line.
line, the snapped line, SNAPPED, snapped line. You have the tangled web, tangled net. You've got what was the name of the one with the goat? The
The one that's down at the shore, something net.
I said that, the tangled net. But the one that you went to first, where what's her name worked originally, was
Where Hannah
with
was?
Wicker Goat. Wicker Goat.
Okay, Wicker Goat. Where Tiara went.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, she's headed off to the
Okay, and
maiden house.
he's going to the library. So,
Jackson, which way are you headed?
Jackson said he's going to the where did you say you were going, Jackson?
Market?
To the market. Oh, so you're just going shopping.
Yeah.
He's fulfilling your need there, Gene. So we're good.
Yeah. She's not interested in buying anything, you know. What she needs is not in any market.
Right.
Okay. She goes off on her way. And she goes over to the House of the Maidens.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take a step out here. I just got a buzz from my dad. So
Okay.
give me a couple minutes. You guys mingle among yourselves. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
All right. Mingle, 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 mingle,
Angle.
mingle.
I want Godhood. That's gonna be cool.
Yes. And you're working towards it. But you need to keep focused. And you didn't stay focused. And now you have a quandary of how you're going.
I that was under the effect of a strong spirit. I was not. I rolled on that one on my con check, and that's why I'm now betrothed.
You were too far gone to know what you were doing.
Exactly. It was not. It was absolutely not by my choice. I
So-
I already told her no.
Okay.
I'm gonna do everything in my
Power?
to stop her from going through with this.
Yeah, but you understand what she's trying. She really needs to rescue her family's honor.
And there are ways of
And
doing
she
that.
sees you as a way to do that.
There are ways of doing that that do not
Um,
involve marriage.
um, okay.
For example, I could attack the castle with some of my men or myself, and then I could set it up so that her father could stop me, and then he gets his honor back. I don't know.
She's
Something like
extremely attractive.
that. What does that have to do with it? I
And
mean, I get
nothing,
it has something to do with it, but at the same time,
yeah. She,
anyway, I don't think I'll be able to once I become a god. I don't think that will be
so you're
an
trying
option
to
for me.
avoid fulfilling the elves,
Yeah.
the promise to the elves?
Um. Yeah, I am. I honestly view it as really as irresponsible of them to keep one of their children so close to
No,
the edge
you
of their forests.
understand?
I don't.
Child is the tree. The tree is the child.
Right.
She's a dryad.
Yeah.
That tree is her life. She
Uh-huh.
cannot be away from it. When you killed the tree, you killed her.
I think it was pretty irresponsible of the forest to put her so close to the edge of it and
Well,
not
that's
protect her.
because they had been protected by the dragon who let no one come along the road to the north.
Oof.
Yeah.
I see the situation now.
Remember? The dragon was protecting it and said you cannot go north.
I thought that was about the dragons.
No.
No.
In that
Okay.
way, he was protecting that part of the woods. Whether he knew it or not, that's what he was doing. And the elves counted on that.
Um. I mean,
I know it is a difficult situation, but you made a promise. Now, I'm not going to say anything more about it.
Okay.
It's something you're going to have to deal with. And if you can, make it right. If you can't, you can't.
Darn straight.
But would your mother be happy with you breaking your promise?
I think my mother would be more woeful if I gave my firstborn away. Oh, godhood. That's what I'm shooting for. I wonder what it's gonna be.
Well, there's another thing. Are you going to be a god that exists only above this place, or are you going to be a god that actually works with Nycos and making it a better place?
The latter.
Okay, so that wouldn't preclude you from having a wife and a child.
That wouldn't.
No, gods take wives. Goddesses often have husbands.
You know the former is actually looking more attractive now. If I'm being honest,
What?
the first one.
That gods take wives?
No.
Yes.
Being a god above the material plane is now looking more and more attractive.
Interesting conversation to come into the middle of. What's looking more and more attractive?
Goddom that does not really involve the material plane.
You realize all the gods so far are intimately involved with Nycos.
All of them?
Why did you have to use
Most of the
that
ones I know.
word?
The Nycosian avatars that we.
They all are personally interested in the world. Yes.
They're all personally interested in the
They
world.
they don't actively interact much, other than telling you that they're rooting for your side or whatever. They don't actually mandate action on your part.
That sucks.
See, now, Mary, if she ever goes to godhood, she'd be hands-on goddess.
Oh yeah, 100%. Same accord.
Exactly, which makes you intimately connected to the world. There goes that word.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll have to be reminded every day of the life that he didn't have.
I laid a guilt trip on him.
Oh,
You
over
really
the lady?
did?
Mary, yeah, about um
Abandoning love?
No, about the
but not
child.
that, about the child. That he had made a promise
I don't feel guilty
and
about
he would
that.
avoid it by not being married and not conceiving a child.
I don't feel guilty.
Wait a moment. And therefore he would abandon his promise. And I said, what would your mother think?
Nice.
I think my mother would be more disappointed in me if I gave my firstborn child.
Yeah.
She'd be more disappointed about that than she would be about the promise.
But then what about your father?
My father. Pretty much the same.
Well, the trick is that when you get to the point of having the firstborn, you can go have a discussion with the elves about it.
Like, where did they get off putting a kid right on the edge of their community, and then
no, the whole force was their community.
Right.
There was no road. You cut a road through there, and
they showed up right after I took the tree down. That's kind of on them.
Really?
Oh no!
For you cutting down a tree?
If you can't tell, I didn't.
I know.
Didn't cut it.
I know. You didn't personally cut the tree down, but you did take responsibility for it being your road that you had ordered.
I mean, I was all okay. All right.
Let's ask you a completely different question. Let's say you go to an orphanage and you find a foundling.
Right.
That child is not yours per se, but by name you could make him your first legitimate son. And then donate him to the cause. Morally, you will have completed your contract. Morally, you're not offending any child that didn't have a parent because they now have a parent they didn't have before.
I mean, the quote-unquote contract specifically said firstborn.
True. But who are they to challenge you if you tell them that, if you are willing to lie about it?
I could clone myself. Give them a simulacrum.
I think simulacrum. I think you're grasping at straws here.
I don't know. I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah. I know. You may find that Sigyn makes a perfectly good wife. You know.
No.
Certainly beautiful.
Oh my gosh!
And willful. And willful.
I'm not. I hope you don't take my pauses in conversation for me reconsidering. I'm just.
No. I know you're in shock. I totally get it. I felt the same way when I first met Rhonda. When I first met her, I thought, this woman is giving me 10 seconds. She actually skated with me at the roller rink.
All right.
I was punching so far above my weight class at first. I was 18 years old and she was 21, and I thought that was never going to work. And she was worldly wise and sophisticated. She worked in a law firm, and I was just an Air Force airman, and she was giving me the time of day. Holy moly. I didn't expect that.
No accounting for it.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And all the planning in the world doesn't have any handles when it actually happens. And and it can come. And it can come the other ways too. I had a friend of mine. He met a girl at a party, told her to her face that he would only marry her if she was the last woman on the planet. That's what he told her. And then 10 months later, they got engaged, and they're still married 29 years later. So.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
And she clearly wasn't the last woman on Earth at the time, so.
Be careful what you say sometimes.
Yeah.
okay.
Be careful of drinking too heavily.
Oh, I didn't want to. No, we didn't. I didn't want to lay that on his
Yelled
table
on
either.
him?
I was giving him grief over having an enjoyable party. I don't think he, when he was making the hat, even realized what he was doing. He thought she was cute and was making a hat for her. He didn't think about the fact that it was going to end up in his marriage. Have you guys?
All right.
have
A betrothal.
yeah.
For now, I'm just going to I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah, he'll forget all about it.
Yeah.
He's miles away, and I've forgotten.
Except he keeps
All right.
every time he sees this the blazing light of this of the Nimbus rays, he's reminded of her wild hair.
Or every time I look at my desktop now.
Exactly. Well done, sir. You get a BP for that. That was well stated. That was good.
What did he say? I missed it.
Oh, you totally did. I made the comment earlier about he was going to go find out where I got that picture because he wanted to go get it for his screensaver for his computer. He just now says, now if I ever want to see her, I just can look at my desktop.
I mean, I didn't actually. It's just
Well, we can only assume that that's the case. So, of course, you could share your screen and prove us otherwise, but I like the mental image that you did that you thought she was pretty enough to go get.
hold up. I need to. All right.
He's gonna share screen.
I'm gonna give me a few minutes.
Sure, no worries.
You can go find her and save her and put her in your picture file.
That's what he's gonna do, if he didn't already. Anyway, very funny. And even if it's not the same picture, if it's one that you find attractive, works for me. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so anything before we go visit the? Oh yeah, somebody was gonna go shopping. Go shopping, Jackson, for whatever you want. What do you want?
Okay. I was thinking that maybe I'll get a change of weaponry.
You're gonna change out your weapon, sir? Are you?
Maybe a better one.
Are you a member of an Assassin's Guild?
No.
Okay, because they're the only ones I know of that have to change out their weapons. What are we changing out for, sir? Do you want something that matches your eyes better? What's your plan?
A better weapon, aren't you?
I was thinking maybe getting a longsword.
Okay, we have an assortment of longswords. We have several that have come in from the Seven Kingdoms. The Seven Princes have started to recruit, and so if you're willing to bear their emblem, they'll accept you in their marches.
I'll go.
But if you don't want to be affiliated with the Seven, then of course we do have a selection of regular longswords as well.
All right.
You seem confused, sir. Are you certain you want to buy a weapon at all?
Yeah.
You want a masterwork. You met a better weapon than what you have.
What do you want, Jackson? Just a longsword?
I'll get the longsword.
Okay, a masterwork one would be
315 gold.
Nah, remember we talked about this yesterday, that the prices were all skewed. It's 315 if you want an actual magical weapon. It's only 315 silver if you want
Okay.
a masterwork.
You know somebody has lots of silver if you don't.
I have a bunch too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 315 silver for the longsword. Anything else, sir? Are you gearing up for warfare? Are you going hunting ears?
Uh,
You know there's a bounty now on the Grolem. Bambry is offering 10 silver per ear and per pair of ears.
well, I just want to be better equipped in 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 worst case scenarios.
Well, you'd be better to be best equipped in any scenario than in just your worst scenarios, but sure. Still, I just wanted to know because switching up to martial weapons, especially masterwork, suggests that you're gearing up for actual sword play. Who are you engaging? Is this a personal vendetta? Are you working for one of the guilds? What's your status?
Make it
Uh,
up.
You said something?
In meta, I
Yes.
said,
In meta.
either tell the truth, you're with another group, and you just want to be better.
Well, I'm with a group.
Oh, excellent.
Traveling.
Excellent. Traveling north to you're traveling inland to the minefields, or are you heading out to sea?
Up sea.
Heading northbound towards the northern kingdoms and Barovia and Babel, or are you heading south?
South.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you something in meta that we've already had this conversation with Gene. Make sure you get more information from the conversation than you give. You just told me where you're going with a group. So if somebody is wanting to mess with you, this is how they do it. They find out that information through you guys rattling off stuff to nobodies. Is there any reason why you would tell somebody where you're traveling? Is there? Is there a reason for you to be telling him?
No, I was
Just making
just being
conversation.
polite.
Right. So when you're polite, when you're talking to people you don't know, it's better to be polite by saying, "Oh, we have plans. You know, we have a group. We're heading out. I don't know the details." You just don't want to always be blabbing everything out to everybody. Miri can tell you she has to have this conversation once in a while because she kind of loves to tell my NPCs everything, and it's just a character choice. So I'm just clarifying that I just don't want you to feel bad if the information you give me I get to use to mess with you guys. So anyway, glad to have helped you with your weapon. Anything else you need, sir?
Kai, do you have a healer's kit?
We have medicine kits. Yeah. Are you a member of the healing arts?
No.
Yeah, you might want to carry one just in case, because a regular doctor can do that if not. Yes, Torg?
Just no, nothing.
I just saw you waving. I thought maybe there was something going on.
No.
All right.
Sorry about that.
I just was curious. All right, Jackson. So, healer's kit. That's another. I think it's 5 silver.
Okay.
That's about it.
Silver.
What was that, Gene?
I think it's 50 gold. Normally, which in your
Would be 50
sort of
silver.
thing would be 50 silver.
Okay, no problem. Have safe travels. Okay, Torg, you were going to
Library.
Okay.
Wait. How much was it with the longsword and the
50,
heals kit?
65.
65.
Yep.
Total
65
silver.
So 65 silver.
Yep.
Yeah, just mark it off on your money chart.
Do the math, subtract it. Hey, so anyway, Corey, as you approach the library, the front door is closed. Note on the door says, quiet, please, class in session.
I'm gonna quietly open the door.
Okay. And the door itself, although it seems to be about six and a half feet in height, like a normal door would be, but maybe almost 7 feet tall. Nonetheless, as you step through it, you find that you don't have any problems at all passing through. It's as if the door got larger. Furthermore, the space inside is considerably larger than the external size of the place. Um, in the center of the main floor is a magical circle glowing with a green light, and in the corners are 12 candles,
Um,
all lit. And
gonna shoot.
seated in the center on a small stool is a. Well, at first you really can't make out the gender because the person is wearing a full length body robe with long sleeves and a hood. But as you come in, the woman lowers her hood. Her hair is as white as snow. Her skin is sallow and somewhat yellowish in color. Her eyes have no irises, just solid black, like the whole eye is a pupil. And there are marks above and below her lips, suggesting that her mouth might have been sewn shut at some point in the past.
Oh, hello. You're one of the librarians, aren't you?
She just simply nods, stands up, moves towards you with a feminine grace that reminds you of a certain giant we both know, and she raises her hand to you, bringing her finger to her lips, and whispering gently, how may I help you today, sir?"
Do you have anything on the Sky Stone?
She raises an eyebrow, nods, turns and walks over to a pile of books, moves them around, comes out with one. Perhaps this one will be of assistance, and it's a book on geology, on the knowledge of stones and their uses. It seems like it might be a work of mysticism, and the text is rather dry and lengthy, but does seem to have kernels of wisdom and truth in between the many lines of text that seem to be of no use.
Mm-hmm.
She points to one of the desks and say, "You may use the book here at the library as often and as long as you want, but the book cannot be checked out for obvious reasons."
All right. I'll read it until it's time to depart.
Okay. Tell me what specific questions you want, and I'll see whether the book can answer them.
Is the Sky Stone from Nimbus?
All indicators suggest that no, that wouldn't be realistically possible, as most scholars ascribe to Nimbus the characteristic of a gas cloud.
Oh, okay. Helios then.
Also unlikely, as no one knows anything about Helios other than the immense heat and light it must give off. It doesn't seem to have any physical status, and there's no example of that. Suggestion is that this may have actually come from something known as the Rhodus, Rhodus, that passed by here several millennia before the first iteration.
How much does the Sky Stone weigh?
The Skystone. Oh, well, okay. So this book describes the Skystone. The characteristics are all seeming to be chunks or splinters from an original primary stone. The actual relic known as the Skystone is still in place in the Whisper Mist and is said to clock in the millions of tons.
We're thinking a comet or a small asteroid.
Yeah, but it'd have to be a small asteroid because a big asteroid would really obliterate this world.
Yeah.
How strong is the Sky Stone? compared to adamantine?
There's never been a comparison made because so far no one's been able to uh, heat the Skystone up to a malleable range.
Hmm.
So
And finally,
to date, those that use the Skystone in any kind of capacity are using it as uh, arcane focus.
that was going to be my final question. Well, what is it? What has anyone ever used it? Okay, then that's all the information that I need from it. Whew.
All right, and sorry I couldn't be of more help, but thank you for your patronage. There is a small jar near the door if you want to make a donation to maintain the libraries. We do operate now solely on donations.
I will put in a gold piece because I don't have anything smaller than that.
Well, you do. As soon as you put the coin in, she uh, visibly turns on the lights inside, and she's like, "Oh, and if you're looking for information on where it can be found, you might want to check out um, the lore section of the Valley book." And she points towards a book that says on the cover of it, "Whisper Mist Valley of Dreams."
I will quickly go through it and find the location of the Skystone.
Okay, so it describes the Skystone as being uh, partially buried in the ancient relic that used to be known as the Anvil, that now is broken into the ocean, and that the other piece of the stone that didn't end up on premises is like 30 miles farther north. It's not known with basically a mystic stone circle.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good information. Write it down.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
All right, so heading to the boat then.
Yes.
All right.
What was the name of the asteroid again?
Rhodus.
What? Spell it.
Rhodus. R-H.
ODUS.
Oh.
Okay, so the captain of the vessel is known as Galanarf.
Galanarf.
His sister is the first mate. Her name is Galanel.
I don't get anything in the House of Maidens.
Oh, you want? I'm sorry, I forgot. You also want to go to the House of Maidens. So
Yes,
when
please.
you approach the house, the doors will open, and two young ladies will step out in simple white shifts. They barely cover their forms and are virtually see-through. They are well endowed and quite alluring specimens of the female type. As you approach, they go down to one knee, put their head between their elbows, and raise their hands up, palms up, so you can inspect. You see
She
that
said,
they have now started something that hasn't been done before, and that is they utilize either black or blue powder to accentuate their fingerprints.
she said, please rise up. I come in friendship
And as you
and
say that,
seek understanding.
as you say that, a halfling walks out. He is dressed opulently in the finest clothing. He has a fur ruff around his neck that makes him look a little bit like a pompous little baby lion, and it's all in that tawny lion cloth color. But he's got a broad belt of gems and a string of tiny black stones that hang from it. He goes, "Yes, yes, yes. How many of them, and how many hours do you require?"
I would like all of them.
"Oh, we are a woman
And
of means."
only
He rubs
for
his hands
an
together.
hour or so. Short of sunset, I must return by sunset.
Oh, I will definitely set the alarms for that, my dear. Um, would you prefer the orgy chamber or
No,
something more
a
intimate?
chamber where we may sit and relax. And I would
That's that is
like,
that is what I to that is to which I referred. I apologize for being so crass. It's just that, well, I don't have that many um, willing and ample volunteers to share such joy from their bodies as you.
I think you totally misunderstand me, but that is okay at this moment.
Gee, I wonder what it's like to be totally misunderstood.
That never happens by anybody.
Anyway, I would like to have drinks brought, cooled tea, juices, or whatever the women prefer.
Okay, but first we must get down to business. There are 40 of them, and 40 of them at 3 silver pieces per hour. You only want an hour, so that's 40 times 3 is 120 silver.
He pulls out 120 silver, and if I go over time, I will pay for it.
Oh, aren't you optimistic? I trust this many will wear you out long before that happens. I am, by the way, Warder Ladier. I am the keeper of the House of Maidens.
Hemp.
Thank you. A pleasure to meet you. I'm sure.
Hmm. So once you enter the place, there's one room where it's obvious that most activities that occur, they occur laterally rather than vertically.
Yes. She takes up the pillows, she plumps them up,
Hmm.
and she sits herself on one. And when they come in, I says, "Find a pillow to sit on. I would talk to you."
Okay. Pretty soon you got a room full of very willing and surprisingly open females. They don't seem to be having any problem at all with you being a female asking for female company.
I I think I have you here under false pretenses, but all the proper fees have been paid.
They all kind of titter among themselves, laughing a bit as they look to you like you're shy. Several of them do, kind of lean forward and put a hand on your knee or your shoulder, kind of to be encouraging to you. Like,
My name is Mary Elwyn. I'm the high priest of Veritas, the god of life.
uh,
I was just wondering how all of you are doing and if you've been treated well.
well, from their career path, it suggests that they may not be fully in charge of the decision making, but they're pretty open about the fact that they are fairly well paid and they do have there is a path to freedom. They are basically brought here by those who have um, liberated human villages farther to the north and to the east, and are hoping to eventually buy passage to one of the off-coast facilities. There's a rumor that off of off of the coast there is a place known as Submariner to the north, and here in the south. Let me see, what was the name of the one down here? Uh, yeah. The city down here is known as Thessalica, off the coast. It's was originally built by the Mer elves, the Thassan elves, but they have then now been shared or appropriated in trade for technology with the humans, and so
Okay.
they're
Are
basically
you
working to raise enough money for port passage to go to Thessalica.
just by A show of hands, how many of you are others?
They all are, Gene.
They
Every
all
single one
are.
of them. Every
And
single one of them.
what do you have to free you?
Oh, it's the passage is 30 gold, or 30 days in the temple, in that maiden's house.
Okay, 30 gold for 40. That's
1,200.
1,200 gold.
Hmm.
Okay, let me see what I can do.
They go, "Oh, do not compromise your virtue for us."
Oh, I don't plan to compromise my virtue, and I don't want you to compromise yours made unwillingly.
It is not unwilling. We came here of our own accord. It was better. It was better than some of the alternatives. There are rougher folk that are making us their wives.
Oh, okay. This I promise you. When I return, I will free you all with 30 gold, and you may take passage to where you want to go.
Don't make us promises. They flat out will tell you, don't make us promises. If you're going to do it today,
Okay,
we're terrified on your behalf, but you could do it. But if you're going to say you're going to do it later, don't bother, because by that time we will be gone and there will be others that come here, because this is a way out for uh,
you all.
the women. Right now, as far as the men, it appears that most of the men are fighting fundamentally to the death, to not be captured and things like that, and so many of the defensive posts of the others that are still functioning are being operated by males only.
Okay, I understand. Uh, I have a job to do. I gotta have to see how I can change that damn dragon. I don't think I have exactly 1,200 gold, and that's what I need. I have about 850 gold. Okay, I'm going to court.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
And you still have an hour to enjoy yourselves. The
Well, in
balance
which
of
case,
the hour.
which is really kind of weird, because they're so used to it that many of them start to turn with their sisters, so to speak, into embraces and things like that. So it ends up being kind of what he said it was going to be anyway, because that to them is passing the time enjoyably.
Okay, so she's going to go to court.
Okay, so you go find Cord.
Court.
Cord's just now coming out of the library, stroking his chin, very thrilled with the amount of information he got.
Ah, yes.
Do you have 400 gold I may borrow? If I
Yeah,
ever
sure.
break one of those dragons, I'll be able to repay you, but I
I
can't
still have
find
some spare gold left over from that red dragon. What was his name?
Oh,
Regulus.
No.
no.
Um,
Gauthier,
Gotrod.
Gotrod.
Go try it.
Gotrod.
Yeah, here. I will hand her a sack full of 500 gold.
There you go.
Thank you very much. She reaches into her sack, takes out the 800 gold. Actually,
Just
Let's round up Jackson. It's about time to leave.
yeah, I have one transaction to take care of.
What's that?
I'm going to free all the other women that are in that House of Maidens. They can go to their own people. They can buy
Okay.
passage on a ship. Now, if we have a little more time, we should, because I've only been in there about 30 minutes. And we were in mid afternoon, and it's going to be um, evening before
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
no. In that case, yeah, I
Okay,
got plenty of
I
time.
want to make sure they all get their things. And would you got both of you come? Oh, where's Jackson?
He went to the market.
I think you'll be threatening enough. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Jackson will come walking back out with his shiny new sword. He's more than likely brandishing it as he walks down the street, trying it out, feeling its heft. So it's a very shiny, very pretty weapon compared to the last one he had.
Jackson, you didn't go for a bludgeoning. Maybe a mace or a club.
No, he has a nice shiny new sword. Jackson, I'm going to need you as bodyguards, if you please.
What do you need me to do?
I'm going over to the House of Maidens and free them all.
He's going to anti-pimp.
Yes.
Eh?
I have to make regular trips down here and do the same.
Uh, fine,
Okay.
fine. Let's see how this will go.
All right.
Okay. I walk back.
Mm-hmm.
Proprietor, sir proprietor.
He goes, I'm sorry, all of my women are. Oh, hey, you got your party's still going in there. I thought you were in there.
No, I walked out for a moment.
Oh,
Oh,
Jeez,
were you
man.
not
30
pleased?
gold.
Were you not pleased?
Oh, I am wonderfully pleased. So much so, here's 1,200 gold for all of them.
What, you're buying my entire inventory?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Well, okay. Their belongings are in the wagons out behind. You want me to have that brought to you?
Yes. Please do.
Okay.
And I will tell them to get appropriately dressed because they probably want clothes on.
Okay. I didn't realize you had such a voracious appetite.
Yeah.
Don't you get started, man. It's hard to get her to calm down.
Here's this huge Goliath.
Yeah. It's like, oh, wow. We will have to call her Miri the Insatiable.
It's really funny because
I've
she's
been
like,
called other names, but
this is even funnier because she looks really old too.
Well, she's all in a hood and cloak. She's always
yeah.
hiding that.
And then she has a. I've got to show you this feather headdress that I found that was really cool. That's it's like green cock feathers that just flow down the neck like hair with a little bit of other stuff, colored stuff right in the front. Very nice. And then, of course, she dresses in green. So for trips like this, she's kind of like in pants, tunic, and then a long green vest with the symbols on it, bordered in, the symbols of Veritas, her three circles.
All right. So when you go in and tell the girls, most of them are in shock. They just they don't even grok what you've done. Did you didn't buy passage? You just got them free, or was that including because they use the money when they get it? They pay for passage. That's what they do with it. Is they basically store it up in his coffers until he gets enough to buy them the tickets.
Oh, that was for their passage. Oh,
So
how much do?
that's what I'm saying. You bought them; they're coming to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you really meant to say is you wanted to buy passage to their
Yes.
to buy them their trip home. Is what you were doing, right?
Yes. Buy them their trip
Okay.
home.
So we'll call that repatriation, and that's
And
what
she'll
you
give it.
and we'll retcon the conversation that basically you were buying that on their behalf, which actually
she'll get-
pleases him because it means that he did a good job of keeping them clean and pure because they wouldn't be able to go to their home without that. So this saves him a couple of steps of having to keep them regulated
Yes.
and clean and all of that nonsense. So,
All right. And she just helps them all. Anybody that's a little stunned, she says, that's fine. Get your things together. I think you need something a little better for the trip. So if she has to, she'll buy clothes for them. I have 100 gold. There'll be more than enough to make sure they have clothes for the trip that are more suitable.
Yeah. Well, if you put up to 100 towards clothes, then what you will do is you'll end up with all of them wearing green because they will, in deference to you, wear green to go home.
Okay. She will do that then.
There you go. So burn off another 100 gold.
Okay. Well, that's his
The rest of
100
the
gold.
bag. Yeah, that was the rest of the bag, right? So
The rest of the bag. And that's more than enough money to buy them several changes of clothes.
Well, yes, no. I'm just saying that even if you assume there's going to be, he's going to skinflint it and make sure he makes a profit off the deal, of course. But he's going to make sure that they get what they want in order to go home, and because it's going to make him look like such a good person. Of course, it just means he's going to now have the 1,200 to go buy more. But
Yeah, but that's okay. I'll come down here in a month or two and take another set away.
wow.
She's repatriating the others to
Doing
the
doing
others.
doing a bit of
I,
Schindler's List here in reverse. Huh?
if you go to Submariner, remember my name. Uh, I am
They wouldn't
looking
be. They
for
wouldn't be going to Submariner. They'd be going to
Thatcherine
Thessalica.
Sasolica. Where is that?
Thessalica. It's a city under the waves.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find a way to get there. Damn. I am looking for a human other by the name of Margaret P. Carter. That's all I know about her. I've met her twice. Um, I've talked to her, and I'd like to know how she is. If she can leave a message on the
Well, she doesn't. She's not from here. None of them know her. So
yeah, but if when you're there you meet her or somebody talks of her, see if you can get a message to her.
okay,
That's all I ask.
okay. So you just saved 100. Was it how many?
40.
40 young
30,
women.
40 young women.
40 young women. They they um they are within their culture now known, however, as black-handed because they put the dye on their fingers so that when they get involved with people, they leave their marks on their men
Oh,
because that's arousing apparently to have their hands on you because that's what makes them remember what makes them unique is that they've got the fingerprints.
yeah.
So it's
The other,
kind of a creepy thing, but those women are known as the Black Hands.
okay. You might want to eventually eradicate that. You're
Mm,
free.
no, to them it's a rite of passage.
Correct.
It gets them home. I mean, they were in that motif when you rescued them, so that to them it actually was a sign of good luck. So
So be it. Uh, uh, go with my blessings, and may your lives be rich and fulfilled. And then you take them down to the ship.
okay, so now you go to you don't take them down to their ship, but you're going to your ship, right?
Yeah, we take them down to their ship, make sure they get on,
Oh no,
pay
I'm
the
saying
passenger.
no. That he's taking care of. That's why you
Okay,
paid him. He's taking care of that, so you can make it to your airship on time because your airship leaves before they do anyway.
okay.
Okay, so you guys end up
She looks at the halfling.
yes, Warder Ladier.
Do know that they will get on that ship and sail away to where they're supposed to
Of
go.
course, of course. You think I'm not a man of my word?
You're
I don't wear this indigo veil for any other reason.
So let there be truth be known.
Of course.
Okay. By the way, my name is Mary Elwin. I'm a cleric of Veritas.
I heard you the first time, and I saw you when you were here last time. You didn't know it back then. I was just working the streets, but once I realized that the Red Veil needed a way to liquidate the prison population, I basically bought out the inventory.
Keep on doing it.
Oh,
And I
gladly! If you're going to come down and buy them off of me, that's a going concern.
That is exactly what I planned.
Dear God. By that I mean myself.
Well, now, gentlemen, are we ready to go?
I've,
I've never flown before.
I have.
Let's go then.
Okay, off we go.
All right. So I already gave you the name of the crew. I know that it starts with a G, but I don't remember what the names were.
They were sister and brother, and they both had the same sounding names.
Gallanel or Gala.
G-Man and G-Lady.
You didn't write them down, guys. You're killing me here.
No, I didn't at that time.
I didn't.
Skiff.
Yeah, one was
Gilligan.
Ginnigal, and the other one was
Gin,
Gilithan.
Gin,
Gilligal was the girl, and Gilithal was the guy.
Gil,
Aether.
Thal.
Yeah.
Thol.
A-R.
Thar, Gilithar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gallon Thar.
Yes.
Other part of the name is the same.
Yes.
She says, a pleasure to meet you in Elven. My name is Mary Owen. I'm a cleric of Veritas. These are my companions, and Torg, Lord Cord of
Sup.
Cord. Torg, Lord Cord of Cord, leader of the Legion of Might, and the Cord. I can't ever say that word.
Sprogdingnag. I'm here to go.
Brogdingnag of the High Peak.
No,
Hellvault. Okay, Hellvault. The land of the Goliath. And this is...
And he's also now Thrall of Karth.
Thrall of Karth.
This is Jackson. Yeah, he's not only the bronze, but he's also the brains of this operation.
At least he's the sense of humor of this group. He's been greatly enjoying the two of you today. So.
Yes, we're an interesting group.
We are.
All right, so where are we headed for? Are we headed? Let me pull up my map so I can take a look at it. Just a second.
We seek passage to Hammerfall, more specifically to the Anvil.
You want to go to Hammerfall? Why in the world would you want to go there?
I'd like
he has something he has to pick up.
Yes.
Oh, so is this a trading mission? Am I getting a round trip fare then?
No, I'm looking for materials for a hobby that I'm working on.
I don't know if your ship would be possible to carry back what he plans to bring with him.
Yeah.
However, would it be possible to arrange for a larger ship to pick us up?
I don't have a larger ship in my fleet, and a skiff is usually adequate to most causes. We don't have a lot of cargo space, so I usually just transport individuals and their belongings, but I just was asking the other part just out of pure nosiness, because we don't get a lot of non-elves passing this way.
Yeah, us northerners have really weird hobbies.
I don't doubt that. Alrighty, so you're headed for Hammerfall. Do you wish to hire a tour guide to take you to the holy places there?
No, just going to go to the Anvil.
Well, that is a holy space, sir. That's the reason why I asked.
Is it a holy place to whom?
I think you'll have to see to understand what I mean.
We'll get there when we get there. We're sort of just playing this by ear so far.
Certainly. It'll take us 2 days by air.
That sounds good.
Okay. So, the first 2 days you'll be passing over the actual mists. He will not descend more than 2,000 feet towards land. So you're going to be at about 3,500 feet up at the lowest you'll get. He will not enter the mists or the fogs, and the horrible sounds you hear from within give good reason for him to not want to enter it. Between the howls and screams of terrible creatures, there are the cries and screams of what can only be assumed to be those that are being injured or dying in the mists. Now, he assures you that this is probably not the case, but nonetheless, it is a bit disturbing the first time you hear somebody, scream at the top of the lungs and say, "Stop, you're hurting me," and that kind of stuff.
All right.
On the morning of the second day, flying low over the space, you see a dragon approaching. The skipper motions to his men, and they change the song that they're singing, and the ship fades out of existence. In a few seconds, the dragon passes by the location, seeming not to have noticed them whatsoever.
Ooh.
That's handy.
Oh, interesting. She says only after the dragon is well
Say,
passed.
only after the dragon has gone by, yes. The dragon looked like a large specimen of black dragon. Dark,
Mm.
dark of skin, dark of scale, and huge protruding horns passing back over its head like antelope's horns with many little branches off of it. It's an odd combination, not normally seen, but it's almost like the horns were like whiskers coming off the back of its head, though, instead of off of its nose.
How old was the dragon?
It was at least an adult.
Mm.
After it passes out of the direction, they'll tell you its name is Gaul, Gaul.
Mhm.
The dragon.
And as they turn and descend over the your destination, you're coming down to the coastline, and you see there's a rock formation sticking up out of the water at an impossible angle. You see tunnels and what can be assumed to be like mine shafts that go down into it like honeycombs. There must be dozens and dozens and dozens of these little holes all over the surface. And he points down and says, that's the actual anvil, or what's left of it. And as you can see, it's a holy place.
Nice. Nice.
True. Very holy. And she's laughing.
What's it made out of?
It's well, it might be a form of marble, but I don't think you could take that for granite.
I'll take
What
that
do
with
you
a
know
grain
of the
of selenite.
the sky stone?
What do you know of the sky stone? I don't think it exists. If it does, it's buried deep within that mess down there that is Hammerfall. The legend has it that the stone used to lay on the surface, but that its mass was so great that it slowly descended into the ruins over time. I think more than likely what happened is people have already stolen the majority of it and taken it away, and that's why whatever's left is only tiny relics of what it used to be.
Well, I want to go to the anvil. Can we set down on top of it?
No, but I'll sit you down on the landing across from it. We don't dare
Okay.
land over the ocean. There are those among the Eldrin who believe that there are creatures in the sea that are in opposition to the Eldrin people, and so we don't give them opportunities to steal our vessels.
All right. I accept that.
So they rotate around and take you in over land and hover
Okay.
above the coastline as you basically take a rope descent.
Thank you.
Anyone-
They toss down whatever gear that you couldn't get down personally.
Once we're down, I'm going to immediately head over to the anvil and check it out.
Okay, so as I said, the anvil's actually broken. It's one piece that's canted at about a 30-degree angle that's fallen down into the water, and every once in a while, from the lower caverns, the ones nearest the water surface, you can see water spraying up through it. So apparently water is pressurizing inside of there, and it shoots the water out almost like a cannon periodically. It's not as
Violent.
it's not as dependable as Old Faithful or anything like that, but
It depends on the tides and the wind,
right.
and which. Okay.
But it does make for interesting audio experience in that the wind is constantly shifting over that passage, and so there are changes in the pressures. So even without hearing music, you feel a rhythm coming from the stone. It's the rise and fall, almost like the breathing, which is the ocean exerting its force upon the air in the area.
Hmm.
The other piece, which is parallel and still on shore, also has the tunnels in it, but it looks like they may have been compromised from above because there are places where stuff is pouring out of
Spewing
those.
out.
Yeah, well, it's just more like drizzling out,
Okay.
especially from the higher elevations. And so there's on the top part of the standing part of the anvil, there appears to be a greenish goo, almost like moss, that has drifted down from one layer to the other, downwards towards the more pristine waters of the ocean that surround the base.
I'm gonna.
Why don't you let me do a locate object and maybe we can find this guy's stone of yours.
Okay.
Okay. Does
Now,
locate object require you to have seen it?
Nope.
no, no, you don't have to have seen it. You just have to name what it is that you want to find. That's my understanding of it.
Okay.
Let me look. I have a book right here. And she's going to pump it up so she gets like height and range. Okay. Spells. Locate object.
Oh, you have to. You actually have to have seen it.
That's what I thought.
Oh, boo.
Fortunately, somebody had. If he'd only taken you to the library, you could have seen pictures of it.
You've seen it?
Oh,
Yes, he saw it in the book.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I guess we can go inside the
I
anvil.
don't think it's. If this thing split off the anvil because it hit it, then where we need to find is an impact zone to figure out where it fell after
Well,
it.
the space between the perpendicular and the angled passageway is pretty
No
obvious to
problem.
pick out. And from above, as you came flying in, you can see it's somewhat circular and a diameter of probably 300 yards in the center between the two halves.
Okay.
But it's below
Who's
the
it?
surface of the water.
Okay, we're gonna have to check that out. And
All
I'm
right,
about
Mary.
the only one that's equipped for swimming since it's easier for me to. Oh, yeah, she's gonna actually create an air bubble so she can go down below the surface.
I will
I know
accompany
it
you.
doesn't exist, but she's gonna make it exist. She's gonna make a wall of force around her, a bubble,
You
of
could
air.
part the sea.
She can literally do circle of protection water.
You could part the freaking sea.
Yeah, and the whole idea is that I can then move
You could also
down there.
just lower water.
Yeah, I could lower water. Okay, she will go over there and move the water away. Lower water.
Okay, what is its cubic range?
Uh, um, lower water. Raise water, lower water. It just says control water, and that's 1,000,000 cubic feet.
Yes, 1,000,000 cubic feet is how many by how many by how many? Is that 100?
100 by 100 by 100. So she can make it
Okay.
200 by 30.
Yeah, but you
200
don't know how deep.
by 100.
But you don't know how deep you're gonna go.
No, she doesn't know how deep it is. She can go 250 by 50. So 50 feet wide and 50 feet down, and 200 across the center portion.
Mhm.
And just kind of place it in the center.
Mhm.
Like if it hit it, it would probably have then bounced a little. I mean, ricocheted off, perhaps, or smashed through it. She's going to start closer to the upright part of the anvil.
Yeah, but that'd be easy enough to walk out onto the part that's touching land.
Yeah.
Now, notice that this whole time they've warned you that this is an area where goblins are supposed to have been, but you see no trace of anything alive
Yeah.
other than plant life and the weird algae and stuff growing out of the water.
So you guys need to be on watch, please, and be careful.
Okay, so you go out to the end of the jetty there, looking down over the warrens down below you, going into the cave, and about 100 yards from the edge of the um, other part of the anvil. And from here, if you lowered the water, you to give you the 1,000,000 cubic feet, you'd basically be clearing the entire zone.
Okay.
As you do so, as the water drains away, because it actually affects the number of cubic gallons of water, not the necessary soil. You see the water gouting out from the upper levels as you actually are pressurizing the lower levels to make this happen, and so it 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 takes a while to clearly drain all of it out.
Okay.
As it does, laying in the middle of the empty space, still as sky blue as the day it impacted, is this monstrous rock. Uh, Somewhat crystalline looking in nature. Nonetheless, it feels more like you're looking down at um, uh, like dental material, like a bone or something. It doesn't have the same uh, shiny, edgy kind of thing that a crystal would have. It looks almost like it was grown that way.
Hmm.
And it's about the size of a Volkswagen bus laying down at the bottom. So it's going to be it's going to be a rugged. It's going to be a simple climb down the face to the edge of the water's edge, but then it's going to be difficult walking down the sloppy, messy floor down to where the stone is. And how long can you hold the water spell? It's concentration based.
I'm quite sure it's concentration based.
So all it takes for you to lose that is for you to be attacked, for you to attack and blow a control roll, basically. Wisdom check.
All right. Jackson, you stay here and defend Miri. I'm gonna go down and investigate this rock.
Let me find it.
And then I will climb down.
Okay, so the physical climb down is relatively easy. It's a DC 12 with advantage because there's so many nooks and crannies to hold on to.
All right. That's a 21, and that's a 20.
Okay, ooh, almost didn't make it. As you go crawling down into the space, it's going to take a DC 15 dex to make it all the way down to the stone itself. Through the marshy, muddy stuff.
All right. I rolled a 12 plus 3.
Yeah, here, give it to me. I'll
so
throw
that's
it away
15,
for
yeah.
you. Okay.
Okay, yeah, 15.
Okay, so you've made it down to the rock's face. As you approach it, you can feel it seeming to breathe. It's this in and out feeling more than anything, and it's not like you feel like a breeze blowing against you, but literally through the places where your feet are in contact with the stone below.
All right. I'm going to reach down and touch it. Take off my glove and touch it with my bare hand.
Okie dokie. Go ahead and make a Constitution save, DC 15.
Okay. All right. I got a 6 plus 11. I got a 17.
Okay, so you make the roll.
I'm then going to... Okay, so it feels like so it's super massive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that.
Like a Volkswagen bus in size.
Okay.
As far as its physical appearances, it looks like turquoise. the actual material turquoise. So it's got some veins of dark red passing through it, but for the most part, it's a deep kind of
Uh,
greenish blue.
concentration up to 10 minutes.
Oh God! He's just made it down there, and you're already starting to run out of time because it could take you a good 10 minutes to get down here. So you're not gonna stay. She's gonna shout down. I'm at halfway.
All right. Well. Okay. Well, then I'll climb back out. I've got a plan working in my head.
Okay, so as you climb back up, there's a clap of thunder as the water rushes back into it. And as it does, you hear cracking sounds, and pieces of the bluish stuff float to the surface.
What the heck?
That's
I'm
not
gonna-
dense.
I'm gonna try and grab one with my hand.
She's going, that's not dense. Dense stuff can't float.
That's not what you want.
The ground also, the water around the objects is frothing, like shark water frothing.
What the heck?
Just right now, get out of there. We'll worry about the shards if they float in.
Okay. I'll get out of the water and watch what happens.
Okay. Yeah, you're already out of the water by the time you climb back up. The water comes clashing in and crashes, and the bits of the blue stuff that float to the surface are driven in by the waves, and it literally is riding on the top of the waves, kind of the way styrofoam does. Like the water's literally pushing it out of the water. Have you ever seen a block of styrofoam sitting on top of the water?
Yeah,
It doesn't sit in the water, like something that's waterlogged at all. It's so buoyant, so it has such a dense. Since it has so many little tiny pockets that the surface tension of the water pockets won't let any water to get into it. So it literally rides on top of the wave. And so you can see the pieces rolling by the effects of the wind and the waves. It is the weirdest thing to watch because it doesn't make any sense from what you've been told about the material.
When I touched it down there, it was super massive.
About how big?
Well, no, that's not what I mean. It was heavy. Very, very heavy. For something so small.
Okay, collect the shards and let's see what we can do with them.
All right.
Uh,
I'm gonna.
I don't see how something like that, unless it's something wrapping around whatever hit the rock originally, and this stuff is formed later. Or what did you read about this? They talk about a bright color.
I saw pictures of it.
What did it look? Was it colored or just black and white?
Or were the drawn pictures color, or were they black and white?
Jonathan?
The pictures were so detailed as they seemed to almost have actually captured the essence of the material, including the shadows and stuff. It's like those. Have you seen those visual illusions where somebody draws a picture so good that you think you could pick up the glass of water on the table? It's like that.
Yeah. Realism. Detailed realism.
Yep.
I once saw a painting of leaves on and under the water, like in a pool where the autumn leaves had been drifting down.
Uh-huh.
My God, it looked like you could put your hand into that pool and pick up a leaf.
Yep.
From the bottom of the pool.
Yep.
It was stunning.
I'm gonna try and pick one of the pieces of the stuff out of the waves.
Okay. Okay. So as you approach it, you notice that there is a bit of froth, almost like a little bit of jetsam floating under where it's in contact with the water. And as you drift close enough to you for you to possibly grab it, you hear a hissing sound coming from the liquid. You can see that it's bubbling and frothing where it's in contact with the surface, no matter which So as the object tumbles and rolls across the surface, every place it comes in contact with the liquid directly, the liquid froths and boils.
Like boiling water, like the light and frost effect.
Yeah.
This is strange. I'll still try and pick it up.
Okay, and for clarification, as it rolls up in contact with the beach, whenever it hits the sand, it sinks. Whenever it actually is let down by the water till it actually touches the sand, it pushes in and stays there until the next wave, and the next wave will pick it up and push it higher up like it's picking up the sand. It goes back to feeling like...
Pick up as many pieces as you can. At this time, somebody might know what this stuff is.
So the first piece you come across is probably about the size of your fist, and you've got a giant's fist. It's a pretty good sized chunk. Go ahead and roll a d20 for a pickup check. See if you can get it lifted.
All right. That's a 7 on the 20.
Okay. Even with your pluses is, 7 plus your strength is going to be 6, 13, 14, 15? Yeah, you'll be able to pick it up.
It's a 18.
Okay. Yeah, it's slippery. It feels really weird because where your fingers are touching it that are wet, you can actively feel the water seeming to squirm away like it's trying to get off of the surface of the
It's
material.
like it's in, what is that called? Anhydrous?
Yes.
It repels water.
Yes.
Hydrophobe. All right.
Yeah, but it's hydrophobia is a disease. It's rabies.
No, it's called hydrophobia. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a general term.
I'm gonna. Is it heavy? For its size?
Yes. It's uncharacteristically and definitely out of context with what you visually saw. So you thought, grab a hold of it and just lift it, and it almost like wrenched the muscle in your shoulder as you grabbed it and pulled it to you towards your chest.
Gather as much as you can. I might have to do that again, where when the waves crash in, they'll break off some more bits and pieces. Maybe we can get enough of that stuff for your weapon.
Do you know the spell reverse gravity, Mary?
No, it's not one of my spells, but there's only one way to be sure. I can try.
Okay.
Let me think about what would be the best way to do this.
Say that again?
She's trying to think of a way to lift the stone like with reverse gravity. But the point is, how are you going to capture the stone if I just bring it up?
You could probably use water, Mary. Try and use water to break it off and then move it up.
Okay, to break it up and move it up?
Yeah. Or just break it off from the bottom and move it up.
Yeah, I can. Go ahead, give it a try. Are you guys keeping watch?
Yes.
Okay, so do another control water and move it away from the rock. But now that she knows where the rock is, she will move the same volume, but directly in line with the rock, hopefully to drive it out of the ground.
Okay, and when you do, it floats to the surface, and on the first bit of wave trying to drive it out to sea, it impacts the side of the outward portion of the anvil and crashes into it with the force that breaks up some of the tunnels inside. When it does, you can hear audible screaming coming from the tunnels.
Well,
There's something in those
and
tunnels.
as you push that water out in that specific area, it will push out some of the stuff inside the tunnels, and out from the tunnel will flow probably 30 or 40 goblins, women and children for the most part, and a couple of goblin warriors.
Okay. She, as soon as that happens, she actually lets the water go to crash into the.
When you do, the stone tumbles down the face, tearing up the rock even further and plunging back under the surface.
That rock almost has a mind of its own. I
Well, let's
can't
just see.
understand why it crashed into the anvil.
Because the water was receding outward, so it would crash into the object between it and the open ocean, because it was floating on the top of the water.
And then as soon as the water came back, it crashed down.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't it float like the little pieces did?
Mass.
Mouse.
Mass overcomes displacement. You can plunge a battleship underwater. Doesn't mean it stays down there forever, but it does plunge it back underwater.
Okay. Did any more pieces break off?
A few smatterings of pieces, but more importantly, there are goblin bodies now washing up on the shoreline.
Are they alive?
No, there are a few that are trying to swim, but they don't apparently know how to swim very well. But the majority of them, there's probably 20 to 30 bodies that float up and start landing on the shoreline.
Oh boy.
I thought the goblins were wiped out. Except we know they weren't. Well, what are these goblins doing here? She'll see if she can't rescue a woman.
Female goblin, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. She cusses at you in goblinisk.
I cast comprehend languages.
She's going destroyer of worlds and killer of children.
Okay.
We didn't do
I-
anything to harm you. We try to live our lives in peace now. The others, the warriors are gone. We are all that's left, and all we hope for is the lives of our children.
Cord, rescue as many of them as you can.
I'll jump into the water.
Well, in your armor.
I'll be fine.
Okay. Snatch as many out as you can.
Okay. You get out about 25, 30 of them, waterlogged, angry,
Okay.
bitter. A lot of them sick and coughing.
Okay, she will use her healing to get them at least stabilized.
Okay.
She can do a prayer of healing, the ritual one for
Sure.
10 minutes,
Sure.
so she can cover more.
Sure.
And for 10 minutes, you just gather them all in and just,
Okay.
she says, stay here.
Gotcha. You stabilized the ones that you rescued.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we did not know any of you were in here. You
Who
said
are you? Who are you, and why would you dare to come take away the hammer of God? That's presumptuous of you at the least, and immoral at the most. God put that hammer there, and He took out our people for a reason. How dare you?
I am Mary, cleric of Veritas, and the green.
I am Cord. What
and
God put
Green
this
Veil.
hammer here?
I am called the Guardian of Life.
And you
We
are
are
what?
here.
You are what? What'd you say, Cord?
I am Cord. What God put this hammer here?
The only true gods. I point to the sky. Green, yellow, red. Goblins all be dead.
Green, yellow, red. What was that from?
It's the lights that came before.
There were green, yellow, and red lights.
Yes.
And what did they do?
They converged on the spot on Anvil. It only happened twice.
All right. And then this rock appeared.
The rock, yeah, the anvil was always here. The anvil was a temple that the dwarves constructed sometime long ago in the ancient times. And at that time it was red, blue, and white. The dwarves will be all right.
Red, blue, and white. The dwarf will be all right. Green, yellow, and
Green, yellow, red.
red.
The goblins will be dead.
Okay. But you said all the warriors had gone away.
Well, yes. She
Where
came.
did?
She came and enthralled them all.
Who is she?
Featherin,
I'm. Who is?
Featherin Goblin Bane, Razor of the Unblin, bearer of the crystal skull. How many more names do you want for the little witch? Or I should say bitch. We don't particularly care. She's a foul creature.
She may be Umblin.
She did.
Undead?
No, the Unblin.
What are the unblend?
An army of black, unpupilled eyes, sewn shut mouths, and voracious fighting capability. They move with the silence of the dead, even when they bear armor and weapons.
Undead.
Unblin.
Unblend. And where did they go?
It wasn't where they went, it's when they went.
Oh yeah, they're Atherton. Okay, gotcha. Right.
Do you know?
Some guy.
You're talking about the Blue Duke?
All right. Yes, him. What about Atherton?
Well, we received messages from him long in advance, telling us that we would be safe if we simply stayed in the Warrens. That the hammer was coming, and we believed his word, and we all moved into the Warrens.
Can I have the hammer?
Can you have the hammer? That's presumptuous of you. It's been laying there in the bottom of the water for God knows how long.
Well, we just moved it a bit.
Actually, that's what destroyed your piece of rock. Was it moved and hit?
Yes, I know. We were here. We watched our people die.
Well, we saved as many as we could.
Yes.
I ask again, can I take the hammer?
It doesn't belong to us. It's an emblem of God. You want to thwart the gods? By all means, take it.
I doubt that I can, but I will certainly try.
Just try not to kill any more of our folks when you do so.
You should probably warn them to stay away for a bit. I'll let you.
You're asking us to abandon our homes in a place where we are being hunted?
Briefly? I just need a couple hours to take the hammer, or try. And then I'll be gone, and you can have your home back.
I will see what we can do.
Thank you. All right. To move this rock, I see we can. I can probably. How far down is the rock from the surface?
Almost 100 cubic feet down. Well, it would be 100 feet down.
I could try and pull it out. I mean, it's not likely, but I mean, it's an idea. And that is something I am going to try to do. Let me think. How am I going to do that? Anybody have any rope?
I have 100 feet of silk rope, but I'm sorry. If that thing could crash into stone like that and sink to the bottom of the sea almost as fast as it was thrown out, the silk rope won't hold it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go.
Do you have an engine with you? The first two parts of the magic making device?
Yes, I do.
Let's see if we can
Yes, I do.
convince some Vex to pull it out of there and make it shall we say, easier to navigate with.
Okay. While you do that, I'm gonna go try and pull it out with the strength of my own arm.
Okay, but here, what she does is she goes up, she puts a protection from water on you,
Okay.
and it's actually like an
Um,
envelope, not all the way around you.
Before I go, I'm going to strip off my armor, which is going to take 5 minutes. And while I do that, I'm going to hand Miri the 2 parts of the engine.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take out my wand of bull strength. I'm going to cast the spell Enhance Ability Strength of the Bull on myself. Then I'm going to walk to the edge of the anvil, and I'm going to, with the spell Protection of Water, jump in and try and swim down and get the stone. Jackson, is that you?
Where?
Huh?
What?
Jackson.
No, Jackson, are you asleep?
No, I just
Okay.
Well,
I-
when,
I sent Jonathan the message.
Sent Jonathan a message. Did I fall asleep?
Just for a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Man.
Just a snooze.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Jackson sent a message saying he was going to get something to eat. That's all he sent. So that's what he was talking about.
you're hungry again?
Did I nod off? I only nodded off for a minute and a half.
Yeah, just for a minute and a half. Yeah, I was rambling on about what I was gonna do.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out how you want to lift this rock. What is your plan? The short version.
Miri was gonna cast protection from water on me. I was gonna cast a spell on myself because I have a wand of bull strength, and then I was just gonna swim down and try and lift it up.
Try and lift it up with the water over you. Okay, gotcha. And I think the protection of water. The problem is if she puts a protection of water on you, you can't pass into the water. You walk on the surface just like it. You'll be bobbling like it on the surface.
All right. That's interesting. Okay, well,
As a matter of fact, it seems like there might be a protection from water cast on the rock. And you only would have known that because you tested this theory. Good job.
All right.
You want me to spell it?
Yeah, nice.
You want her to try that?
Okay. How about you cast Dispel Magic?
Well, she'd have to. Here's the thing: she'd have to cast the water reduction, so she can see it, so that she can cast the other spell at it, because she has to be able to see her target.
All right, I'll hand out. Actually, we'll test this
As a matter
first.
of fact,
Miri?
for protection, she has to actually touch it, so she'd have to go down there.
Okay.
Miri?
I'm gonna just step down there. Okay. I can do it. I can see where I'm gonna land.
That's right. She can see where she's gonna land, especially if you've climbed down there that one time. She can see where the best place to land would be.
Okay.
And then she'll touch it, and then step out
as the waves crash in around you.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And then she'll let it go.
Okay.
So, right.
Yeah, but the trick
yeah,
is,
she pushes it.
As soon as you cast the spell, your concentration spell will fail because a protection spell also requires concentration. So.
Could I precast?
No such thing as contingency casting, but you can at least try this. All it's going to take is for me to fail the stones check, and then you're going to have to make your check. It's your own DC. So
Miri, I can.
Let me pull up my dice generator here so that I'm ready to go.
Miri, if you fail, I will come down and get you. So don't have no fear.
I'm in. She's gonna strip down as well, at least out of the chain pants and the chain shirt because she can't afford that on her, and she's kind of very lightweight.
All right. Good luck, Mary.
He gives a blessing to all of us. Uh, and she casts the control water and she moves it directly away from the stone.
Okay, so
And she's kind of
that, for,
hoping
that spell has worked. So it's now the water is now removed from the stone. You can see the
she
surface.
steps down on the stone.
Alrighty. So go ahead and make a Constitution save.
Oh, thank you very much because that is not my best score. I rolled a 16 and my Constitution save. Don't do this to me. My Constitution save is now 6 plus 3 plus, yeah, that's it. 6 plus 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 on to, I said 15?
Yeah.
Okay, 9 under 15 is 24.
24. So you've made the roll. You're down there. So now the trick is to make your roll the same time I make my roll.
Okay.
Your DC. What is your spell DC?
8 plus proficiency plus wisdom.
Wisdom?
Yeah.
Miri's.
It's at 24, so that's a plus.
8. Not 8. It's a plus 7.
8 plus 7 plus your proficiency of 4. So it's 8 plus 11 and 19.
Yeah, I do have a very awesome. Okay, my wisdom score is.
It's 21. Your spell save is 21.
Yep.
Okay.
That's terrifying. If you wanted to, you could dominate people, Gene. You can now do what Atherton's done to people. You're too moral. You're too moral for it, but you are now wise enough to convince them, because that's what you're doing basically. Is you're reading into them, but you want to do it for this reason. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, wait. Peasants auto fail on their saves because they don't have.
Literally, she walks into town and says, "I need somebody to build me something." They're already on the job.
Okay, I rolled an 18.
Yes.
For real.
That means that you skipped out easily enough after casting the spell. The water, when you gave up the concentration, it takes it almost a full extra round to fill in the space where you were. That's how fast you were able to function.
Cool.
It took the water that long to realize that you weren't holding it back anymore. So it's almost like you compressed the water wall so tightly that it couldn't respond. So literally as you step out, there's this shaft where you were, and then all of a sudden there's this clapping sound and the spray goes flying up. And wow, that was impressive.
Nice.
I'm still stunned by that. And then there's the whole ground around you shakes. And it's, go ahead and make a dex save, everybody, at DC 21, since she's now that's her spell DC.
I fail.
I rolled a 13 plus.
Plus 9 is 24. You still make it. So you're standing. You're still standing. Everyone else, anybody that's like any of the Blinn that are looking, the Elven crew, if they're watching, all are basically on the ground as something about the size of a football stadium comes rolling up out of the ground underneath the
Oh, it was only the top of the stone. God.
And
that's a good thing down there.
He
Yes.
tells the goblins to run.
Yes. So you now have basically a blue mountain sticking up out of the ground. And for a few more seconds, it's protected from the water. But as the water comes in, it hits the shoreline. The water froths and pushes back out because now it's pushed the stone out of the way. So it's rolled basically sideways into the gap from between the two parts of the anvil. So you could literally walk from one anvil to the other across the blue bridge.
Oh,
So it's blocked the gap.
Yes, it's filled in the gap. Shut off all the little tunnels. They'll have to go in through the old classic ways or go below water level because those are all filling up with water.
Mm. Well, we freed it, but now it seems to be lodged.
Yep, but it's a lot bigger than you thought it was. It's
The
huge.
size of a football. Yeah, 300 yards, you said.
300 yards that's only the visible part.
Oh, gee.
I will have more than enough to create my weapon.
Yes.
What I'm afraid now is that it will be available to anybody who wants to use it. And I'm not even sure what it is.
I'm going to try and break off a piece of it.
Okay. When you go down there to the surface, again, it looks as it's got that kind of dull sheen like turquoise does. It doesn't actually reflect light like a classic gem. It just gives off like a warm ambient light in reflection.
All right. So I'm under the effect.
What are you going to use to try to break off a piece? Because the surface. What's really weird is that when it was in contact with the water, it seemed to like be boiling or polishing the surface. But now that it's up and out of the water, it doesn't seem to have any chinks or cracks or anything.
Take my maul and I take a chisel from my smith tools, and I'm gonna set it up and then smash it.
Okay, roll to hit.
That's okay with advantage. That's a nat 1 and a 13 plus 11 is 24.
You hit it solid. When you do, it rings like a bell.
It's hollow.
A deep, resonating sound like a brass or bronze church bell. And it rings for close to 10 minutes after you hit it.
Any like
Doesn't
indication?
Doesn't show any mark at all where you hit it.
This is a material truly worthy of a Tarrasque killing weapon.
I agree, but we can't move that mountain.
No. Given time, we can, though.
She's going to do a commune.
Okay.
That's
a wheel and woe one?
No, the big one.
Okay. The answer possibly mysterious.
Yeah. There it is, God of Life. We have raised up what the goblins call the Hammer of God. Cord wants to make a weapon of it, but it is of incredible size. And his strongest blow left not a mark on it. Do you know what this thing is? And will he ever be able to get enough of this substance to make a weapon?
That's 2 questions. How many do you are allowed?
3.
Okay, what's your third? And I'll answer all 3 of them.
And we're leaving this thing here for anybody to get at. Be a bad thing.
Okay, good. These are the tears of Mariagan. They follow the passage of Bellerophon.
That's a different name. Just a moment, I need to write it down.
Yeah, Mariagan and Bellerophon.
Okay, tears.
Tears, the tears of Mariagan.
Very.
Mariagon.
Okay, they follow.
They follow the passing of Bellerophon.
They follow the passing of Bellerophon.
Bellerophon. Bellerophon.
Okay. Okay, that's number 1.
That was actually 2. I think you asked.
Oh, that was 2?
Didn't you ask 2 questions there? You asked
3 questions.
Okay, so repeat the 3 questions again, because I'll make sure I get all 3 of them. What is this thing?
What is this thing? Will Cord be able to get enough of it to make a weapon?
And could somebody else get to it?
Okay. Yeah, it was leaving this above the ground.
Okay.
Dangerous.
No,
bad.
will others? No, the way I think you worded it was, will others be able to access it as well?
Well, she said, if I remember what I said, will leaving this above ground for others to get to, will it be bad?
Let me see. So there is ample and to spare to forge weapons for an army of 10,000.
Okay.
The access to it depends on the will and the skill and the time.
Will, okay. There's enough for army.
Yeah, I said that. I said that wrong. I said 10,000. I think I should have said tens of thousands, because there's probably enough here actually to make weapons for over 1 million folks if you actually get down to mining.
10,000 times. That would be.
It's a number that's. The idea is you just have to get to a number that's larger than you can comprehend, and very few people can comprehend of tens of thousands of anything. Most people can handle about 1,500 of something, and then they lose their mind. So if you were trying to count pennies to $100, it would drive you crazy.
Okay, and it depends on
the will, the skill, and the time.
The skill and the time. Okay.
Very cool.
Okay.
And
Thank
unfortunately, it is 10 o'clock.
Oh. Okay.
So we will call it at this point. You have made it here. This is the halfway point towards a benchmark, so we can't give experience yet, except for uh,
Jacob.
Jacob's still running behind, and he did a fine job of being part of the story. So you get your 300, Jacob. That'll help at least a little.
Okay.
And matter of fact, I'm going to give you a bonus of 1,000 because you've been really doing well the last 3 games in a row. So I'm very proud of you for being a part of it. Thank you very much.
Very
So you
cool.
have a total of 1,300.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mary surprised herself.
Yeah, you guys all 3 did really well tonight. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Did you have,
And
you,
we
did
worked.
you have a good time there, Cord?
Cord?
Yeah.
Good. And we're closer to your goal. Now all you gotta do is figure out how to mine it and how to get it moved.
I'm
And then,
gonna have to work on reverse gravity.
and then forging it and making it magical.
Oh,
Etc.
I don't think you have to worry about the magic. I think it's already imbued.
That's probably a good point.
I don't know what this is. I'll have to find out. There's a librarian soap.
Yes, but you have new names to work with. Who's ever heard of Bellerophon? Who's ever heard of Mariagon?
Yeah, Mariagon and Bellerophon. Bon.
I'll give you a hint. Bellerophon, I think that actually means the voice of war. Let me go look.
Bell meaning war. Not beauty, but bell.
Bellerophon is a hero that killed the Chimera. But that's not the definition of his name. Let's see here. First known use was in the 1561. First time the word was used is in 1561.
Well, it's. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
All right, Jacob.
Well, earlier I was supposed to join Scott's solo campaign thing, but I don't know what happened there.
He had a game. He said he had a game this afternoon, so that maybe is what he was looking for. By the way, not to scare you guys, but here are some other words that were invented in 1561 beyond Bellerophon: nemesis, obelisk, orgy, fantasied, filch, gauze, grotesque. How's that for a wild?
Set of words in one
year. It's 1 year.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yikes.
And that's in what year?
1561.
A very fine year, I'm sure.
See you guys then.
All right, Jacob.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I want to.
Bye.
Yeah, I want to look at the history of this word though, because.
Thank you two for the game. I'll see you next week.
All right. You have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
He's such a good kid. I didn't want to put him through too much of the rigmarole. That's why I didn't want to suggest the sexual stuff. I was just trying to get him engaged.
Yes.
Sorry I led you down that primrose path. I knew where you were going with it. In a regular environment for somebody who doesn't have that